This is Stephanie, and this is the Mocha Minutes Podcast. Hey guys, before we get into the episode, I just wanted to let you know about something that's a little new here at the Mocha Minutes Podcast. We are now participating in Buy Me a Coffee. So if you haven't heard, buymeacoffee.com is a place where you can show some support and some love monetarily to some of your favorite content creators. That includes me. So it's in the increments of either $1, $3, or $5, and you can do as many as you would like. So I just wanted to let you guys know, would love some support. So if you would go to buymeacoffee.com/Mocha Minutes, I would greatly appreciate it. It will also be in the show notes. Okay, here we go. Don't leave me in all this pain. Don't leave me out in the rain. Come back and bring back my smile. Come and take these tears away. I need your arms to hold me now. The night is so unkind. Bring back those nights when I held you beside me. Unbreak my heart. Say you love me again. Undo this hurt you caused when you walked out the door and walked out of my life. Uncry these tears. I cried so many nights. Unbreak my heart, my heart. Hello and welcome to the Mocha Minutes Podcast. This is so ironic that I'm singing this song because we are talking about the people in the pods, but welcome back to the show. I was like, I'm break my pod. I feel like I should be on break my pod. But the laugh that you hear is my girl Selle from Who Asked Me? I asked her. Okay. The answer is like, who asked her? Me, Stephanie. I did it. Selle, how are you?
I am good. This is my first podcast back from my moving hiatus.
On the road
for 2
again.
weeks. Oh God, I don't want to be. I have not driven in a couple of days. I don't need to be in the car again.
Oh, I would like to be like, yeah, I am not driving until next year. It's only November. I know what time of year it is.
Absolutely not.
It's November. I'm sorry.
Absolutely not. But you know what's funny about the Toni Braxton? So I was just listening to her earlier. In between, yeah, I love Toni Braxton. In between when me, you, and Taria, because we got a group chat, y'all, when we were talking and sending voice notes, and I was supposed to be working, had my music on the background. I had to keep pausing Toni so I could listen and talk to y'all.
Toni's a hometown girl. I gotta love her, honey. I love her.
Toni Braxton. I love her.
That is so funny when literally we are talking, listening to voice notes, and I'm like literally pausing in the middle of it. I'm listening, but you just said something and it just sparked my interest. Because girl, you just said that. I'm gonna keep listening. But I'm just saying this part right here.
They need to change the voice note options on iPhone.
You think?
Because it drives, first of all, we need to be able to still listen to them while we're doing other stuff. One. And two, if there's a voice note playing, then the phone should not go to sleep.
Okay, so I thought it was just my phone.
No, mine does it all the time. And I'm like,
God damn, how you going to sleep? I'm in the middle of listening to this shit.
Exactly. If you can listen to me, if you can listen to my conversations with my mom and hear that we're talking about whatever shake, kabaya shake or whatever, and then you can send me an targeted ad for it, you can know that I'm listening to a voice note and not to go to sleep. Like, come on. Now.
What the hell is happening? Why did you just cut off? I'm like, okay, I thought it was just me. I'm like, I know I need to change a setting or something because this is on my nerves. Okay.
It's everybody that I know complains about that.
Okay. So, you know what? This is what I have to start doing. Things that I think this only happens to Stephanie. I need to put it out into the atmosphere so somebody can go, girl, you too?
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Okay.
Not to sound like Giselle Bryant. 100%.
So
we are not here to talk about Bravo.
I'm not. We're not gonna do it. Look here. I know y'all probably think because I'm in the Dixon district, I'm down bad. Let me be very clear. No, the fuck I'm not. Okay. I'm not you down still bad. Have sense. That's why I said in the Green Island Bandit Society, I stay in the Dixon district. And y'all may think I gotta get up on my soapbox. You're like, she is doing too much. Let me tell you something. If me and my man, we going back and forth. We had to move back in because our raggedy ass friend stole our money and then unalived himself. We got to stay in the house. I'm like, oh, good, I got a consistent dick appointment. I could keep him as consistent dick. Or he can be like, baby, I want you back. Okay, we're going to get back together. If that man and all the shit that I've been through with him, okay, and then he ain't proposed on camera at the holiday party, and you jumping around in your Kango hat and your winter white, and I don't barely know your ass, but you are very excited because you're like, I love. Then the minute that you and my raggedy ass friend who can't dress but seemingly can dress better this season get into it, and it's mad. You
think she looks better?
I'm
okay.
Yo, you think you look better? Damn it! Why are you trying to make Giselle trying to get me in trouble? They're gonna revoke my parking pass at the Green Eye Bandit Society. I gotta say, she looked better. Y'all, I have a nice spot in the lot.
Okay. Okay. You know that's a lot that I do not frequent. Okay. Like, I can empathize and sympathize with Robin because she is an Aries. So a lot of Robin's reactions I do understand. However, like we have talked about, Stephanie and Taria have talked about this. However, furthermore, I'm not on TV, so I recognize that a lot of Robin's actions
don't make sense on television. They're not translate.
And I know she said when she talked to Kendrick, she said, I'm not going to change myself for television and the viewers. And I get that because I would not either. However, I also would realize, because listen, I have said, you've heard me say this, I understand why Robin does not want to talk to Wendy. I understand why she does not want to talk to Wendy. Okay. Because it's like, all right, girl, I don't fuck with you. I already had to cuss at you. And I just don't care about you that much in the first fucking place. So whatever, fuck it. However, again, I'm not on TV. Okay. In real life, I don't have to be around those people.
True.
And even if I do, like when we're in a group setting, it is not a big deal if I don't interact with them because there's no camera in front of us and I'm not paid to do so. So I can continue to go do so. Robin and Wendy, they have to, like you've said, they don't have a real problem. Okay. But I also get it because like I said earlier, I have been in situations where my friends have been on dirt and have done things and I've gotten caught in the crossfires. And I'm like, well, shit, I didn't fucking do nothing. And with Robin and if you don't differentiate your actions and like, you would assume, yes, I'm not that person. I didn't do that. So people should know. However, with Robin and Giselle, they are often yin and yang. And if one is talking, the other one is at least listen, if Giselle's talking, Robin just sitting here nodding her head, being like, okay, whatever.
Because
if Robin is talking, Giselle is putting 100 on 10. Okay.
I'm just saying. I mean, I've noticed that the only time she really, she was still talking when literally Robin was going to use Ashley's forehead as a mop in that kangaroo restaurant. Giselle was like, Robin, shut girl. Hitch up the horse. I'm ready. I'm like, girl, bitch, what? Because you were such a Virgo. Get out of here.
Well, people do that to me too. When I get activated, like that scene back then, what was that? Season 2? Was that season 1? No, that was season 1. Yeah, that was season 1. How we got there, when we were sitting at the table and Robin said, please don't talk about my family with all that food in her mouth. She said, stop. She said, stop. I don't want to, I can't. Okay. I get it because that's a trigger for her.
Mm-hmm.
But then when she marched into that restaurant, Robin was going to mop the fucking floor with her. And I've done that before because it's like, okay, now I am activated. I am fucking pissed off. And when I have a destination, it is going to happen. And I have had friends and people in my life that are like, ooh, gee, here she go. Here she goes. Like, it's going to be good.
And it's all happening.
Because they want to see it.
Sheena tattoo. It's all happening. She gonna beat your ass. I'm gonna just sit here. Can I have a French 75? Shout out to Money. Can I have a French 75? Why? Because I need a drink while I watch her kick her ass.
I have had people, whether it's for their entertainment or just to make sure my hit is on side. Okay. I have had people following right behind me. Now, I think for Giselle, I don't think she's a shooter. Okay.
She is not.
I would not.
That bitch cannot fight. Her and Karen are very much the same.
Oh, they cannot fight. We know how Giselle reacts to fights. She needs security. Okay. And girl, be for fucking real style.
That's the thing. Her and Karen are very much alike. Because Karen also had security. And it's like, wait a minute, what? It's like shout out to Bravo While Black, where Giselle's big old beefy security was interviewed by Aaron and Kaya. And he said, oh, I wasn't the only security person there. She had the person whose house it was, she had security. He just was on camera. I'm like, time out, homie. Wait, what? The fact that I'm like, this is how you know Giselle and Karen have some sort of thing. Because notice, Giselle has never brought that up. Why you I'm the only one who like, believe me, if y'all were really enemies, Giselle would have brought that up so quick.
Oh, again.
She would have brought that up
100%.
So this is my thing about, and I know y'all think I'm down bad, but let me just tell you something. If somebody's jumping around in their winter white, congratulating me, but then when it's mad day, saying my relationship is fake, please know, I ain't fucking with you. And so for everybody saying Wendy got a point, I'm like, so let me know if somebody can shit on your relationship after they seem so happy that your relationship was advancing, and let me know if you would still be cool with them.
Okay, and yes, I agree, y'all. Me and Stephanie have this conversation often.
I'm so glad I got to talk to other Aries because they're like, no, I'm an Aries girl. Nope.
And I say this, okay, because even when Wendy was just flying off at the mouth was and blah blah, and she said, "Go fuck yourself" to Robin, and Robin was drunk on that couch. She said,
"But I tell you, I was
I'm gonna go fuck I'm gonna go fuck myself." Okay, that is a reaction I would have because I'm like, all right, bitch. Like, first of all, I'm drunk. Okay, so this can go one or two ways. I'm gonna sit here and be like, laugh at you and be like, okay, I'm gonna go fuck myself, or I'm going to get on your level and actually I'm going to go higher. And that's not worth it to me because I'm enjoying my tipsy right now.
When I tell you that cracked me up the first time, I'm like, how are y'all not laughing at this right now?
But this is my thing. And I said this earlier, Rob, and I know it's because Robin doesn't care because I've been in the situation, but we are now bordering the line where it's like, Robin, you do need to clock into work. Okay. You have to at least say something because Robin was, I think that Wendy and Robin were in the midst of forming a friendship. I think it was budding. Okay. And Robin had brought the rumors to her.
Correct. About
Eddie from the blog. She said, don't worry about it. Juan, they brought Juan's name up on this blog, blah, blah, blah. I think I do think that was genuine of Robin, don't get me wrong. Yeah. But I think for Wendy, especially being new into the group, and because I can empathize with both sides here. I think that for her, she was like, okay, like me, Robin is my friend. She had my back. She sent me that. And she said, she empathized with me and said, I've been through this too. So, and I do think that Wendy was having a really hard time making friends and cracking into that group because when she came in, not only was she 8 weeks postpartum, she came in season 5. We had a lot going on. And I said this way too much going on. I remember, I know that Wendy was there in season 5. I know that. Okay. However, furthermore, I remember of course, I remember the 4 degrees, but that is small potatoes in the pot roast of season 5 of Potomac. Okay. And I remember the slither that Karen did more so than it was, she was mocking Wendy. You know what I mean? So I really think that she had a hard time. And then when that happened, season 6, it was like, okay, Monique is gone. We've exited this. whatever, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I forgot Wendy was there in that yellow season with the I am so glad Juan Dixon is not here right now. Girl. I forgot she was there. Okay, and I feel for that. But I feel like she was like, okay, this is really gonna be where I find my footing, and then boom, she got a crash course in Giselle.
Pretty much.
Right. And again, I get it, because it's like, Robin, you and Giselle are attached at the hip. You talk about everything. So in somebody who's reasonable's mind, it's like, if Giselle is messy and she brought this up around you and you texted me and you said, hey girl, I just want to see if you saw this, make sure you're okay. I would hope that you would be like, oh, well, I talked to her about it and, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But it's not that, because at the end of the day, Robin can't control Giselle.
She can't,
but I think what she can do is stand a little bit more firm and give a shit, and at least pretend to give a shit, Robin. At least pretend, okay?
That's the thing.
Even when she said this last episode, when they was talking about that escort name that we all trying to figure out what it is, and they was in the store, and Robin said, yeah, she told me that like a couple years ago. I said,
the fact she was just like,
I've done that.
I didn't know that. And it was just like, wait a minute, how come you ain't say nothing? Because
I've done that as well. But
people tell me shit. It came up very like, people tell me shit all the time. I don't repeat it.
That's my thing about Robin. I don't think she needed to repeat it.
Yeah.
But again, because I've done that. People have told me some tea has been dropped, and I've been like, now my ass be like, oh my God, that's so crazy. Depending on what it is, I may not ever say that I knew.
Oh my God, that's so
some shit I really don't want to fucking be involved in. Like, I really don't want to. So I'll be like, oh my God, that is so crazy. Damn, girl. And then move on. But like people's man's cheating and stuff, or their significant other cheating. And if I don't want to be involved in that.
Then please don't tell me, because I'm like,
not,
girl.
I'm not. People think I'm crazy for that. I'm not.
I really don't want to know this tea. I promise you.
No, and I'm not telling them either.
No, like, child, it's a very short list of people that I would be like, girl, I got to tell you this, or I'm not gonna sit right with me. And believe me, it don't go past maybe 4 people. And even one of those is like, it's more like 3 and impossible. But
I don't know. I've been not burned, but I've just been on the receiving, because especially now adults, folks are married, or relationships are a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
This is my thing. Why I don't do it, because I'm not about to sit here. I've been that, person before, where it's like, dump him, get rid of him, and that's not necessarily the case. Okay.
Yeah, after you sign some legal paperwork and have like, a couple of kids, it's like, it's so easier than he didn't answer my text, break up with him. I'm like, no, you are literally married, y'all have children, you need to, like, I get, so it's so weird to say, it's like, cheating for me is a deal breaker. However, I understand people who say it's not a deal breaker for them once they are literally mating and having children and getting married. I actually can understand why you're like, I'm gonna have to weigh my options first.
Yeah. And for me, like, if you decide not to leave them, because listen, here's one thing. I cannot, and this sounds selfish, I cannot stand to be called a liar. Especially when I know I am telling
girl, same. It's like, please,
therefore,
one thing, don't say I'm a liar.
And again, this sounds selfish, because I'm not the one getting cheated on. But if that motherfucker fixes his goddamn lips to say, oh, she lying, and then you looking at me crazy, we've just ended a fucking friendship, because you got me fucked up.
Full circle.
Because I know what I got to lie for.
So yeah,
because I for damn sure don't.
I'm just going to tell you right now what the episode's title is going to be. However, furthermore. I'm sorry, I've been sitting here like, no, she didn't say however, furthermore.
I've always said that. I do not. Sometimes people ask me why I say certain things. I'm like, couldn't tell you.
Like, I don't know. It sounded cute when I said it. I mean, I don't know. So, y'all, we are here to, the dust is somewhat settled. Just kidding, it's more tea out there. But Love is Blind season 3 has wrapped. And now we're here to talk about it, because we watched it. We watched that and the reunion full of the people who can't trust. And it's very we've entered the danger zone, because I swear, what the heck. And there of course was 5 couples. There's a lot more attractive people on this season. But I'm talking about the black woman, y'all. Also, there's a man who literally did fake tears, and y'all captured this. So I don't know who the fuck y'all editors are, but y'all that man or woman or non-binary person needs a fucking raise, because I swear to beans. I was like, I literally paused it like, I'm sorry, what the fuck did I just watch? Did he just put in fake?
I had to rewind it. Like, because I didn't catch it at first.
I was like, wait, because I was behind everybody else. So they had like already watched the episode. And I was like, did this man just put fake? Wait, are we rolling? Like, girl, I'm glad y'all liked him. Yeah, no, we ain't rolling. Bitch, what?
Well, this is maybe the reason I caught it. I didn't catch it the first time is because I always thought Andrew was full of fucking shit. First of all, this is my thing. This is my thing. We're in these pods. You are not going to see me, and this is just me being me. Ain't no. There could be a camera there. I'm not going to put makeup on my face every single day. Okay, and there's no makeup artist, so I'm gonna be, especially I know you not seeing me, I'm gonna be up in there.
Okay, so can we talk busted. About that? Because I thought that was the weirdest thing. I'm like, y'all getting dressed to go to a pod where no one's gonna see you.
Multiple people had, I think Raven had 6 inches on at one point.
I'm sitting here like, why are we? They can't see you. I'm so confused right now. What the hell?
And don't get me wrong, like, yeah, I'm gonna put the heels on and stuff for the reveal and for like a couple episodes. But one thing about me is I hate sitting down in jeans. Okay, so why would I do that? Yeah. But when Andrew was walking around that pod, swirling his chalice as if he were, you know, somebody's lord, king, so I was like, this man is. And then when he started talking about that tantric sex, he was like, I have. What did he say? I don't even fucking know.
You know, it's so bad. He talked so much that I literally forgot. I'm like, what he say, girl? He said something. I don't know.
He said something, and then the fact that Nancy was
I don't know. He said something, child. I mean, I don't know. It felt like needed. I don't know, child. He said something.
Yeah, I don't know. The fact that Nancy was sitting there, even when he was talking about, you know, sexual related things, and was like, oh, okay. I thought she was literally, if there was a time to do jumping jacks, it was then.
Girl, yeah, he's the one I would have done jumping jacks on, because I'm like, one, you're literally too attractive to be this vapid, but then, you know, I feel like you wouldn't be on on this show if you weren't.
I mean, make no mistake, Bartise, you can do jumping jacks, write a paper, anything while he's talking. We didn't know that at that point, but
whatever. Now it's like, okay, I guess you're not so crazy. So you guys,
my friend sent me a reel, I guess, because I can't even see Barti's fucking face. Like it makes me it pisses me off. And don't let me hear that stupid ass voice of his. Okay. Oh my God. It was like a reel or a TikTok, and it was like at the Malibu bachelor party and something else, another third in the pods. He was like drunk, and I was like, see, this is why you're fucking stupid. You said you were drunk in the pods. Okay.
He was looking at it and saying he was drunk. What?
Yes, he was like, me in the pods, Malibu, and bachelor party or something else. He was like drunk. You're a fucking idiot. What? You were drunk. You're trying to tell us you were drunk in the pods. So you were drunk when you chose Nancy. Do you understand how you sound? Oh, you God. Fucking dweeb.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh God. This is why I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to find his page just so I can block him.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is why it's like, yeah, I agree with so there are some things I don't watch with the timeline, and I'm kind of glad I did not watch Love is Blind with the timeline. I just laugh at Giselle's tweets now about Love is Blind, but I was not watching it on Love is Blind with the timeline. So we got to the reunion. We had 5 couples. We had SK and Raven, Bartise and Nancy's bang, Cole and Zanab, Red Flag and Colleen, and Brennan and Alexa. When I went into this, I was like, I'm not rooting for any of these folks. And the thing about it is, in each couple, I was rooting for an individual. And most of them 4 of them were the female counterparts, and one was the male.
Which one was your male? SK?
It was a little bit SK, but it also was Brennan. It's kind of, well, I guess now
Yeah.
it's too, because SK, I was just like, yeah, no, he was off my list because you had your African mama get all dressed up and cute on this camera for you to just walk out on here. I will slap you. I was like, yeah, you're off the list, bitch. So it was Brennan.
See, I wasn't mad at SK. I was more so shocked that Raven was crying and was like, I was planning on saying yes. I was like, you were?
Because okay, so here's my thing. Yeah, she was one of those 2 couples. I was like, were you going to say yes?
Because let me tell you something. Raven, one thing about Raven, her friends get on my nerves. That one friend that was like, and if he says yes, I'm gonna beat him up. Girl, calm down.
Girl, shut up.
Relax. You're not going to, because if you do that, you're gonna make a fool out of yourself. I didn't like the way her friend spoke to him and about their relationship. Okay. And we and you kind of talked about this offline.
Yeah.
Their whole tone was very like, I don't fucking know. Just, it gave me the ick, okay? And when her one friend said, you're robbing our friend of her fairy tale ending, first of all, no, I'm not. I told her that I was going to get my...
from a pod. Like, I'm very confused.
I told her when we were in the pods that I was going to Berkeley to get my master's. I said that. And I'm tired of people being like, oh, why would you even do the show? I know in a time where everybody and their mom is like, yeah, I'm going back to school to get my master's. I'm going back to school. I'm getting my master's, right? Oh, so I got my master's. Y'all are now asking why the fuck this man is going to get his master's. Because he damn well want to.
Because a part of me kind of liked how direct her friends were. I'm like, because like, I feel like everybody has at least 1 or 2 of those friends. Because I liked their,
I'm direct.
I like that direct. However, furthermore, what the fuck are you telling her? What are you talking to him like this for? It's like, why are y'all here? And also, Miss,
because they want to be on TV.
They want to be on TV, but it's like I also was on like 2 different things of, Raven was talking about her family and they're not really want to be there, but then it was mostly the white side of her family, but then all her friends were black, and then it was like, I'm very confused about this dynamic. Also, why? Okay, I have several questions. There's way too many questions, and I feel like I would just, my brain will sleep behind my ears if I ask the questions.
I have never had so many questions for a guy my friend has bought around. I'm just like, okay, I may ask my friend off to the sidebar. And look, I understand that this is a reality TV show, so maybe the producers equipped them with some questions, and then they were like, yeah, we're about to play this up. My thing with the master's degree is I would have asked my friend, like, girl, did you know he was going to California to get that master's? Yeah, girl, I knew. You okay with that? Yeah.
Because I think that was the thing. Like, they're so direct because I feel like Raven didn't tell them anything. So it's like, it looks so weird because it's like, why didn't you just tell her? Oh yeah, girl, he told me. And it's like, wait, because that's not all on SK. Like, I can see like having concern for your friend, because most friends will, but it's like, girl, you didn't tell them shit. And then of course you see them not get married. And this is me, and I'll be completely frank about this. Her talking about SK's culture, and I get it. It's like, we're all black, but we're not all the same black. He is African black as opposed to American black. And so I get that cultural piece, but I swear, and this is the thing, I actually like Raven. And I'm like, why did it seem like I was watching a white woman marrying a black man? I'm like, what is going on here? I'm like, this feels so awkward. And I don't know if it's just people are just direct. I'm like, maybe it's something like, because it's just it made me uncomfortable. And I don't think, and again, let me say this, it's not the intent. I'm wholeheartedly going to say that. It's the impact on screen. Like, why does it like I'm like, y'all acting like y'all not black. I get it. Y'all are not African, but I feel like if maybe y'all were Caribbean, it wouldn't be that big.
Well, this is my thing. I agree with you when you said I felt like I was watching a white woman interact with a black man, because that's how I felt too. And I was like, and I enjoyed Raven by the end. I liked her. I understand Raven. Don't get me wrong. I'm not dissing how anybody wants to live their life in matter of facts. Okay. Knowing what they want, rather. My thing with Raven was where I saw that they weren't getting married was, first off, as somebody who just got married, let me tell you this. The older generation and people in general, but especially that older generation, they gonna tell you some old school shit that's like, I'm not doing that. But you just say, okay, or you don't say anything in my opinion. You know how many times I heard thou shalt obey their husband? Yeah, okay. Or whatever the fuck that Bible verse is, or whatever the hell. Okay. You know how many times I heard just a bunch of shit that's not how we doing things in my house. Okay.
Yeah.
But just let them say it. I don't give a shit. So all of that, when they were saying, I do think it's a culture thing. But as long as she talked to SK, like make sure food is, on the table. Cause I got that so one
funny
too.
That she literally was thinking like, how can I have stew? I'm like, I'm pretty sure they not thinking literal stew in your house.
And I'm very positive that the friend or whatever that was with them at the headdress shop, she was Nigerian herself, married to another Nigerian.
So it was like literally they have that in general. Understood.
She was, yes, and they had an understanding that is how their marriage is going to work. Everybody understands that you are mixed. I almost said African American, but you are mixed, okay? And you are not Nigerian at all.
Right.
And so it's going to be different. What you and SK discuss is going to be, okay, what it is. She just kept having all these reactions to I get it because with the family thing, because my dad's not around and I don't, sometimes it can feel like I wish I just had like this full, complete, I do have a complete family. I shouldn't say that, but you know what I mean? It feels like, okay, I have a different family dynamic because my mom hates when I say unconventional. So I understand, but at the same time, it is what it is. You and your man understand. So I don't really give a fuck what Charlie said, or Charlie, that's my husband, what anybody says, as long as me and Charlie know. Okay, somebody can say, make sure you got dinner on the table 5 nights a week. I'm gonna be like, hey, okay. And we know when we come home, Charlie, no, I got like 2 recipes. Okay. And we've been together for this amount of time. As long as you talk to SK and y'all understanding, please just ignore the rest of that shit, because it was, and she spoke in matter of fact. So for her to say, I'm not uprooting my life, and you're talking about marrying somebody.
Yeah.
I do think, again, as somebody who just got married, I do think that that's a pretty selfish, unrealistic thing to say, especially about what they were talking about.
Like, I want to get married and keep my life the exact same way.
Yeah.
Like your life is designed for you, single, one person by yourself. Like, it seemed like she had room, and she does, because they apparently, like, when we got to reunion, surprise, they're dating. I'm like, I'm very confused by this, but okay. But it just seemed like she would have no problem letting other people in her lives, but it's like she want to keep her life the exact same way. And it was kind of like, this is a big thing. He's moving to California to go to grad school. And I'm like,
well, and not only that, there are just sometimes, like, even her, I know what people are like, Giselle, it's not a big a deal. Even with the coffee, like, I don't make coffee. There is going to be some time, well, hopefully not, but if you, as somebody who is trying to be more budget conscious, okay, and as somebody who likes to go buy her coffee, that is something that adds up. So if you're in a financial situation where that's not a big deal for you, that's fine. But there may be a time in life when you gonna have to figure out how to use that motherfucking Keurig, girl. So,
especially if you have it, it's like, I don't understand. It's just
like,
it'd be different. It's like, girl, it's convenient.
Her speaking those matter of facts. I'm not uprooting my life. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that, over things that should have been conversations with your partner.
And I kind of wish it had been. So when he said no, I honestly was very surprised, because the way it was leading up, and then maybe like the episode before, I'm like, they are kind of cute together. I literally thought he was just going to say yes, because he definitely was reassuring her, like, I got your back, this, that, and third. So when he said no, it was also the way that he said it, like, it was like he said a question, I do not. I was like, wait, what? Are you asking someone? I was like, wait, he said no?
I feel like they had a conversation about that.
That's why I was just like,
I think that she knew that was coming.
That's the thing, because I'm like, he said it in a way that was just very odd to me.
But I also thought she was the one that was going to say no. So when he said no, it was like, I feel like you're right. I think he talked to Raven, but he ain't talked to his mama because I think he didn't want her to literally beat his ass because she looked like, because when she came to her, said, I don't know what happened. I'm so sorry.
So, yeah. Yeah. And I think his mom's, what a sweet woman. What a sweet woman. Okay. But I think that they had a conversation about that and Raven didn't tell anybody because Raven is also an Aries. And I understand when sometimes things happen and you know that they're about to happen in your life. It's not even because some people, I've had friends tell me like, oh, that's, why do you do that? Like just for shock factor. It's not. Sometimes I can't like, it sounds dumb, but I just can't say anything because I'm still processing it myself. And it's like, okay, well, you guys are going to find out. And I don't really want to sit here and have an intimate conversation about it. So here we go. Here you are. Now you found out. Okay.
Yeah. Because the thing about, you know what I mean? I really, one, they look beautiful. Now they are dating. And also, y'all, we're still getting the chai, shout out to Family Karma, is still getting poured because apparently, SK allegedly is cheating on her or has cheated. I don't know if she still cheated, but he had cheated or has cheated on her. So there is a nice TikTok page called Storytime with Ricky where I was like, because the folks that I'm talking to about Love is Blind, they said, oh, you got to go to this TikTok. And I was like, why does this name sound familiar? And then I realized I had watched her TikToks before, like maybe the last 3 and then the 2 dropped, where she had the TikTok. I had seen her TikTok saying, this is who I think is getting married. This was like, oh wait, I have seen her before. So I didn't know. Apparently, this is still what's going on. So allegedly, 2 different women have come forward to say they were dating SK. One of them met him on Hinge, which I have so many thoughts on Hinge because, well, it's Hinge. And I've heard like either very not cool stories. I haven't heard too many stories of it has worked out forever. Not that there aren't, because there are. It's just, oh Lord, Bumble and Hinge seems to be. I think it was on TikTok. I saw a dating coach who said don't use Hinge. I was like, well, that's very interesting.
I used Hinge probably at the tail end of my dating before me and my husband got together. No, back that up. It was like within a year before, because I think that's when it first came out or something, or maybe first got popular. Okay. And I remember being like, what the fuck is this? Because I couldn't get with it. And when I was on it, there weren't many people on it, so it would run out of people. Okay. But I do have a friend that met a guy and dated him for like a year or 2 on it. And that motherfucker was weird. And I could never tell my friend, like I only told her after they broke up. I was like, yeah, girl, he always gave me weird vibes. And she was like, why didn't you say anything? Because I don't get involved in nobody's business. And it wasn't weird as in like I thought somebody was harmful or he was harmful. I just was like, it's very odd. He's an odd person. Like, I don't understand what's going on. And he got real petty when they broke up. So I was like, okay. Okay. Maybe it's something different now, but I don't know. That's my only experience with it.
Chile. This is what I say. Chile. Hold, please, because Tickety Talk is where the mess unfolds. So let me just pull up this nice little Tickety Talk because story time with Ricky. Hold on one second. So let me just stop here. So this is a lady by the name of Christian. So apparently A lot of people just because when you think about someone as Afrocentric as SK and Raven, I'm like, on one hand, it doesn't make sense, but I also peeped when he got back to their city when he said the streets were calling me, but I'm engaged, and I'm like, so did no one else just hear him when he said that? I'm like, did anybody else just hear him? So it's just Stephanie. Stephanie's the only one who heard it. Because I just heard him talk. Okay, so let me find Miss Thing. I'm sorry, I'm sounding story time with Ricky, who is literally hilarious.
Okay, guys, so here are all of her receipts. She posted it on her page. Don't you fucking cover me. I didn't make up this rumor. This is just tea that's going around tonight. Pause and read. Pause and read. SK from Hinge. Why are you on Hinge when you got a bitch? Okay. Go read.
Not a bitch.
He doing all the fucking talking. Oh my God, thirsty. You not only a cheater, but you a thirsty cheater. Gave her Instagram because he can't post his bitch for a year and a half. Trifling. Talking about I'm going to Cabo. Okay. We had pictures of Raven and him in Cabo, but he couldn't post until a year later. Trifling. Oh, she even messaged Raven. Like, she shows the thing where she messages Raven and lets her know, like, girl, your man is trifling. But Raven didn't respond. So now she's putting it on TikTok because she's hoping this gets her attention. Okay. And this is not the way to do it, girl, but...
Okay, so let's pause that. What were you going to say? Because you're like, oh my God.
Okay, this is my thing. Mm-hmm. I see the receipt. Oh, listen, I see the receipts, baby girl. Mariah, I see them here. Y'all don't see them. I do. This is my thing with messaging Raven and messaging the girl. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
When I don't respond, we don't know what Raven could have lit his ass up behind the scenes. We don't know. And that falls within their year of, we don't know what was going on. You know what I mean? We don't know. Okay.
Correct.
So if Raven didn't answer you and that it is what you need to leave that be. Why put that now? I understand, because I've started to feel really differently about sharing screenshots and things like that. Since there was I don't watch The Bachelor or Bachelor in Paradise anymore, but they had a situation on there when one dude was like hooking up with like 3 different girls, showed up on the beach. It got real messy. And one of the girls who really did like him, and they hooked up. I really don't know why this man put their screenshots out there, and rightfully so. Everybody called him an asshole. But I just felt so bad because it was obvious that it was a drunken night out. Like, she just really, she liked him. She wanted to go back to his house and things like that. Like, I was like, I would really, really, really be embarrassed and pissed off if somebody did that to me. I don't understand what the point is with this. If Raven would have engaged in a argument with you and called you a lying ass bitch in XYZ and things that.
If you had like screenshots of y'all going back and forth and yelling at each other, then I can understand. But it was kind of like, you putting this out, I'm like, I was trying to get her attention. No, this is more to embarrass him because he
and her
and hurt her. Yeah. So this is not about making people need to know the truth. I can assure you, we do not. I can live in the lies. I'm like, I don't need to know that. But yeah, so yes, shout out to Storytime with Ricky. Lord have mercy.
Lord, we don't know. Okay,
It is all alleged. Let's just say that I'm stuck at allegedly.
They could have been open at the time.
Correct. Because at the reunion, they said they were dating. They also have not said how long they have been back together. And we also don't know when they filmed this reunion. So I'm like, I can sit in the big bubble of alleged, but also sit here like, this is kind of shitty, but God, what the hell?
Okay, I want to bring something up about that when they filmed that reunion, because maybe this is the Bravo watcher in me. Okay. And, with other reality TV stars. One thing I find interesting, and I don't know how I feel about it, is that they filmed this reunion before, they don't have time to watch the show for a little bit. Maybe they've gotten the episodes. Clearly they have. I find it interesting that they don't get to get public reaction to things before they film the reunion, which I want to be very clear. I land 50-50 on that. Because it's like, on one end, we have, as we know with Bravo shit, like court of public opinion, sometimes it gets too much. Okay. We need to back up. All right. But at the same time, we have questions that need answers. We the people that watch this show. And I'm not trying to say that, oh, we're in charge because we watch a show, but you do rely on our viewership. So I think the least you could do is give us a few questions. Andrew entertains us. Okay.
It's like it's so weird to me to watch. It's like, when did y'all do this? Like, I don't. And see, that's the thing. After the reunion, this outside, but I just like Alexa. I think that's
I like Alexa.
So I was kind of rooting for them. But seeing this, I'm like, I'm going to just sit in big bubble of a legend.
I don't. The other thing is, when we found out, because you saw, I think I sent that to you, where they said they filmed season 2 and 3 at the same time.
Yeah.
So for over a year and a half, and a little bit of tea. Okay, we know that they filmed 4 and 5.
Yes.
Well, one of my old employees who turned friend, who moved away, she knows how much I'm obsessed with reality TV. And she messaged me the other day. She said, girl, I meant to send this to you. A casting producer, director, or whatever for Love is Blind sent her a message and said that they are casting. So I do know where one of the next seasons is going to be, not 4 or 5, but either 6 or 7, I guess.
Oh Lord. Yep.
I'm interested. I'm very interested.
Oh my God. I love this. So next, there's 2 of them that I'm saving for last, and it's for very specific reasons. Let's talk about Alexa and Brennan. When I tell you them getting married, it's kind of like I had no reason to think either one of them would say no. I don't know why. So when they got married, I was like, I wasn't shocked, but I also would have not have been shocked if Brennan had said no, because I feel like I wouldn't have been surprised, but I also wouldn't have been surprised if Alexa had said no. But I didn't think either one. It's weird to say. I didn't think either one of them would say no, but I wouldn't be surprised either, because it's kind of like, I think it's because SK kind of shocked me a little bit, because I didn't expect him to say no. So when the fact that Alexa and Brennan got married, I was like, oh yay, because I was, to that point, because I'm talking about the couples out of order. We had been like 0 and 3 by the time we got to
well, okay. Also, I want to, with Brennan and Alexa, I think that I knew that they both were going to say yes when every time the girls got together, every time the group got together, Alexa was like, girl, so what's going on? And every time they asked her, like, okay, so what do you think? She goes, oh, me and Brennan, we fine. She was very much so like, we're fine. So, Cole, did y'all hear Cole? Like, when she was talking to the camera, she was like, it's very obvious. Me and Brennan, great. So anyways, these other folks. She was very much so the narrator of things. That's when I was like, oh, they're fine. They're, what I found interesting though, because I thought this too, when after they had the reveal, they were in Malibu, all the girls were talking. And she said, we had like a 2-minute, kind of just like session, and it was perceived as she was saying like there was some issues in the sexual relationship at first. She said, I watched a Q&A she did, and she said, I wish that didn't make it into the show because I realized how badly perceived it was.
Because she's like, I know this sounds bad, and that's not how what she
said was that I guess Brennan is packing, and she said they were having some problems getting the boat to go in to the harbor. Okay. No. That's what she was talking about. She was like, I wish that wasn't in there at all. She was like, I didn't really think that. She goes, when I was talking to the girls, it was all, I made it very clear that that's what I was talking about. She goes, but we're making a show, so I get it. But yeah, I was like, oh, okay. But that's when it was clear to me that they were fine. And every time he went to her crazy ass family house and they tried to scare that man just all the way out, he was like, no, I'm good.
You're like, listen here, you brokey.
Brennan kind of reminds me of my husband. Like, my uncles and stuff can kind of be a lot like, come here, let's talk to you, blah, blah, blah. And he's just like, okay. I'm like, okay.
And they didn't ask him if he was circumcised. I'm like, you're Jewish now, right? It's like y'all trying to scare this man. Also, low-key, Alexa's dad is kind of fine.
Oh, not low-key. Not low-key.
I mean,
that
it's
man
the highest
is
of
fine.
key. It was like, so
her dad is hot.
if I try to date her dad, would I have to convert? Because I like my Christmas tree.
But I mean, her stepmom also like looks like she's my age.
Right. So this is the other thing, because shout out to people. I wish this was written by Dave Quinn. Not that I hate anything that's written by somebody else other than Dave Quinn, but that's my fur baby's daddy. So I told him that's my little internet furry niece. She lives in New York with Dave Quinn. So I didn't realize they had this. How did I miss this? Because I'm like, I don't know. When they're in the pods, I don't pay attention to their ages. Yeah, I didn't realize that Brennan and Alexa have a 5-year age difference. I really did not know that. She's 27 and he's 32. I was sitting there like, I didn't realize they had such a different age.
I didn't either.
I didn't know, and 5 years is not significant, but when you look at how they interact, it seems weird that it's an age difference. I thought they were closer in age.
Well, apparently we missed a lot because I didn't even. I had no clue Cole was married until afterwards. Hello. I had to. I text my friend. I said Cole was married. She was like, "Yeah, apparently." I said, "Did I miss something?" She goes, "Not that I know of."
I mean, no, and that's the thing. The only one I knew who was Brennan married before. I know
no,
Red
Matt.
Flag was
Matt.
I know Red Flag was married, and when he tells the story, I'm like, girl, why are you here?
We'll get there.
Yeah, let's get there. But Alexa and Brennan, I mean, I feel like they were just so. Neither one of them really gave me red flags. It's just y'all just going to have to get to know each other, and it seems like they are happy, and I kind of like it. Like Big Dick Brennan is dicking her down, and she's happy. I am very, very happy for this. So then we have the last three. You know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna say we're like the lesser of the three evils out of this couple, and this is only because I can't fucking stand his ass. How he acted on this show. Let's talk about Red Flag and Colleen. Let's talk about Red Flag and the ballerina. He's like, this is the worst ballet I've ever seen in my life. These two, when I tell you the first time he freaked out, I'm like, do y'all see what's happening right now? Girl, leave.
First off, we got to back this up because I'm a big fan of How Did We Get Here, right? As we remember, Colleen was talking to Brennan at first and then crying over him when he was like, nah, I'm good. And then Cole, when he said, nah, I'm good. And actually, no, he didn't say, nah, I'm good. She said, I'm not. And I find this fucking hilarious. Cole was like asking for a little bit more depth. And like, let's be honest, Cole wasn't asking for depth. He was just asking for a little bit.
He was not.
And she was like, I'm just not really deep. I'm not going to call myself shallow, but I'm just not really deep. And he said, okay, I need something a little bit deeper than that. And then she said, oh, you got me shallow. No, mama.
No. Ma'am, you low-key called yourself shallow.
Get deep. And this is my thing. I said, I kind of felt bad because I said, I can see if she was like, it takes me a while to get a little bit deeper.
Warm up to people. That's different.
But I'm not gonna lie, I didn't see a lot of depth to Colleen.
Also, the fact that her own parents were like that too. Well, you don't like to get deep with people. I'm sorry. What the hell is happening right now? What is on my screen?
I understand that there are different types of people, but I'm like, so you just don't get deep at all. I don't like to get deep often, and I don't like to get like it can be uncomfortable for me. But I still do it when times it's necessary.
I was like,
especially with my partner.
This is your partner. This is not like a work event. This is not your cubicle buddy. But this is the man you're marrying. That's why I was like, wait, what is happening here? And why do your parents know that about you? Yeah, because you don't like to get too deep.
Wait, but I'm going to tell you, when my first red flag went up with Matt was in the pods. Okay. And it sounds so stupid, but she told him You and your cute little Matthew McConaughey accent. And at this point, we didn't even know this man existed. We did not know he existed for more than 5 minutes. He popped up after she got dumped twice and was like, hey. And I was like, who the fuck is this?
He really
They could have done a better job of introducing him, but whatever. My first red flag, she said, your little Matthew McConaughey accent. And that man went, oh, yeah, like, you know, that's not how you were talking before, Matthew. Okay. Then secondly, when he started telling that story of his, I'm using air quotes here, first wife, because
I'm mad you said air quotes.
I would never, my high school boyfriend asked me to marry him, and my dumbass was like, yeah, of course. There was no ring. We were never engaged. Okay. Shut the fuck up. You were with that girl at 14. You married her at 18. By 21, she had cheated on you and gotten pregnant. Why? Because those are formative years.
Very.
Formative years. If my child came to me and said that they were going to marry after they were 18 and I couldn't be like, no, sweetie, and said that they were going to marry the person that they are with at 14, I'm just going to say what my mom told me. You know, honey, when you go to buy a car, you think you know which one you want, but you should still drive it first.
Okay.
And then even if it still seems like what you want, maybe get in another car just to make sure it's what you want. Okay. Because the fact that he has carried that with him, he's a full grown 27, 28-year-old man. That is a red fucking flag. And before he had any freakouts, any stir-ups, as he calls them, I knew, because people who make getting cheated on at any age, their entire personality, but especially as a teenager, their entire personality really fucking pissed me off.
It's like, damn, I totally missed that. I'm like, when he got an apology, she just told him that. I'm like, so on one hand, Matt, I can see your annoyance. It was your reaction that had me go, girl, where's the flash? Get out.
Concerning.
Get out.
And he got the story. And this is my thing. He got the story wrong for most of the season. When she told him the story, it said, Cole, this is what Cole said to me. And I said, she said, in the real world, you would have been who I gravitated to if we met in person. If her and Cole met in person. Okay. He said, he being Matt, said, oh, what? If this were the real world, we'll see what happens, and the real world will see what happens. No, baby, that's
not what she said.
That's not what she said. And my thing with Colleen is I was like, he's saying it wrong. Why are you not correcting him? Why are you not correcting him? Because you're repeating the story wrong. Then this stupid ass repeated it to Zena, stirred up, then repeated it to Cole, when Cole was like, bro, that's not what was said. And then this toxic, concerning ass motherfucker just goes, oh, well, man, okay, I might have overreacted here. Are you fucking okay?
Because the thing about it is, when he was like, yeah, because what she said is what happened. I'm like, yeah, because she didn't lie. You just heard what you wanted to hear. It was very weird. I'm like, yeah, I could have told you that, because I'm like, yeah, what she told you is literally what happened.
Yeah.
It's like, so I'm like, it wasn't like she lied to you, as opposed to, yeah, no, we'll get to him.
And then really can't do this. And then even with the whole, because he just wants to be mad, and I could tell that they were all obviously drunk that night, but of the happy hour. But even then, later that night, for him to like blow up again about not realizing, not hearing, as he said, and I'm using air quotes there, her say, yeah, we are going to this club or bar or whatever afterwards. She said that to his face. She said, we are going there. And he said, well, I was drunk and I didn't remember. There's one thing to that, where if you pass out and then I wake up to go pee 30 minutes later, and I'm like, wait a minute, where are you? And you say, I told you that. First of all, that is, okay, I'm not, me being mature, that is kind of concerning. How drunk were you that you don't remember that conversation from 10 minutes ago?
It wasn't even that long. Because I swear, when he was like, I'm so mad, I'm a pack up. I'm like, did I miss something? What is happening?
Broke the drawer.
She's so mad. I'm like, Colleen, I'm sorry. Why are you trying to stay with this man?
I wouldn't be going back there.
He's like, girl, he's like, I'm gonna pack up my shit. I will help you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need some help? It sounds like you need, I can recommend a moving company for you.
Let me know if you need me to push anything down while you zip up, babes.
I mean, I'm just saying, I'm like, I would not recommend BetterHelp, but I will find you. I will find you a goddamn therapist because my God, this man. And so, okay, people were talking about their body language at the reunion. I am like, part of me missed this for 3 reasons. The first is I was too focused on somebody's little man bun. The second was I hate to hear Colleen talk. And the third is I'd rather not look at the screen with Matt. So this is the bad. I was like, I was not even paying attention to their body language because I refused to look at them.
I was concerned. They're immediate because they got to that like right at the beginning. Was very concerned as soon as Colleen started speaking, her voice shaking, and then the way he was like, the way he was sitting with her was very odd because it's like there's one way to sit with somebody and your arm is around them and they can still move left and right and blah. He was very much so sitting with his arm around her with her like boxed in. So she couldn't really like get the mobility. Like it is body language. It's, you know, these things. And what I find even weirder, if me and my husband were on a show and people saw things and they were saying somebody check on her, you know, this is concerning behavior from him, I or him would have to say something.
You think?
I find it very weird that neither one of them has said a word.
Not one. I'm very surprised.
And hasn't addressed, and not only that, hasn't said a word, hasn't commented on anything, hasn't said, you know what I mean? Yeah. I find it very odd. Furthermore, his lack of responsibility for those outbursts is also concerning.
Yeah. So that's where I am too, because I'm sitting here like, he's like, oh yeah, because what she said didn't differ than what I saw. I'm like, yeah, because she wasn't lying to you. But it's like, you have so much like pent up, unhealed trauma. You didn't hear any of that. Because I was sitting here like, well, even when she was talking, I'm like, okay, so that's not different than what we saw. Because you know, it's like it's editing, and you're like, oh, okay, well, maybe we saw something different. And the fact that it's like, oh, everything she said happened is what we saw. I'm like, okay, so what the hell is your problem? What is your boggle?
Yeah, it's talk about somebody who lives in their own mind first and foremost, but also, again, no accountability for his actions. But I want to bring up one thing because Matt is exactly who I thought and think he is. Somebody on the TikTok, you know, made a video. They were looking through Matt's followers. Who do you think Matt follows?
Oh yeah, I heard he was a Trumper thumper, and I'm like, that tracks.
Not only that, but one thing I found very interesting is because I got the point of the video was to see the politics. I mean, it's Trump, it's Candace Owens, it's all of the extreme, it's all of those things. One could argue when Mauricio's followers came out, now I don't follow Donald Trump, never did. Okay. Not even Celebrity Apprentice days. But one could argue like Mauricio, I think he only followed Trump. But he also followed, he followed Trump and then like one other person that was like, but he also follows Kamala Harris. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, it seems like he's not as bad as his follows as his mother, who mysteriously we haven't really seen too much of this.
Yep. But so he, you know, but there was no other like extreme right people. Yeah. Matt was like Donald Trump, Donald J. Trump, Ivanka, Candace Owens. Oh yeah, it's deep. You're like, oh, you watch Parlor. Okay. But not only that,
Brian Latrell.
Not only that, he also, what I noticed, follows a lot of like Instagram models, Instagram baddies, which no, I mean, this is nothing against those women, but who often like pose, you know, You know, they cute. They look good. All right. They got their booties out on Instagram and they get paid for it. I'm happy for them.
I'm all about
but
on baddies, but him following a lot of them
yes,
is actually
exactly.
very
Yes, I was gonna say
to
him following, he followed a lot of them. He followed Hailey Bieber. I was like, oh, are you interested in Road? Are you interested in picking up a makeup trick? Give me a fucking break, Matt. He followed women, and you know that it was like you followed these people because you think that they're hot. You're a bro, like they're attractive. I'm following this hot chick on Instagram. But the mere thought of Colleen saying, "Oh, in the real world, we don't know." Like, are you fucking serious right now? The way you try and preach loyalty and act like you are holier than thou, you would think that you wouldn't even look at another woman. But here you are following these Instagram models, okay, in swimsuit pictures and lingerie all the time.
Yeah, like, so okay, so I'm glad you're bringing up the whole real world thing, because at one time it kind of bothered me when they were saying it, and then I had to think about what they were saying. Because it's kind of like you go, first I was like, what y'all trying to say? But then I realized the kind of people that they are, you wouldn't go for the people. I'm like, you wouldn't, like Cole, you would never go for Zanab in the real world. You wouldn't. I actually agree with you. You would not. Colleen, you would not give Matt the time of day, one, because y'all probably wouldn't be in the same damn place. But that's, it's kind of like you go, at first I was like, wait, what the hell does that mean? I'm like, oh, wait, I do know what that means.
You don't think? Okay, I'm gonna say something. Ooh. I think because I think this way about Cole and Zinab, Nancy and Bartise, and Colleen and Matt. I think that all three of those couples would probably see in this. Would see each other out and hook up,
but not take each other seriously.
Yes, I think. But so, like with Colleen and Matt, I think that she would, let's say if they met on a Hinge or even at a bar, they would hook up, and then he would be her back burner guy.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Cole and Zinab, I think that he would be like, no, dude, I'm changing up my type. I'm changing, which is ridiculous because Zinab is gorgeous. Right. But I'm changing up my type, and I think he would hook up with her and be like, and then he would probably ghost her. And then same thing with Nancy and Bartise. I think that he would like take her home from a bar and then try and and hook up with her and then try and shit on her and be like, nah, like, dude, like, give me a break. That was just like a one-time thing. Come on, like, you know what I mean? Which is ridiculous. Yeah, it's ridiculous all the way around because I think that everybody is equally attractive. Okay. Right. Whoever told Bartise, actually, I don't know why the fuck I am saying this. I know who told Bartise he was so attractive. I knew as soon as I saw his mama and his daddy. Okay. Oh, I'm gonna go there because I have, you know who I have questions for? Bartise daddy. I have questions for Bartise daddy. I got a few questions for his paternal grandparents. Okay. And they starting with his daddy. Why is your son getting his hair cut by a white man? But at the same time, I knew every single thing. I knew every single thing I needed to know when I saw his hair in the first place. One, but two, when I saw that SOS pad of a ponytail up on top of his motherfucking head at that reunion, yeah, I said, okay, with not a damn bit of oil in it. Moisture is your friend.
Oh, baby.
Moisture is your friend, Bartise.
Oh my God. See, and y'all probably were wondering like why you say the lesser of 3 evils. Out of the last three, Red Flag and Ballerina really are the lesser of these three evils. Let's talk about Bartise and Nancy and her bayang, which I am sitting here like Nancy Rodriguez is stunning.
Yes, very pretty.
The makeup look is beautiful. I have no idea what in the Cruella de Vil is on her head because I'm like, y'all trying to ugly up this beautiful woman. I am convinced. Y'all just trying to do it. Y'all trying to make this beautiful woman ugly because what the hell is this?
And you know what it is with Nancy post show? Because I didn't feel this way on the show with her hair. And it's the former hairdresser in me acting up, please. But like, please understand this, everybody. The thing with Nancy after the show is she has extensions in her head. But she does not have extensions that match her hair type. I'm willing to bet that she has, because I've taken a gander on her social media. I am willing to bet that she has straight hair in her head and that she gets her hair done by a white person who doesn't do textured hair often, but that's just, I could be wrong. Okay. That's just what it looks like. And The straight hair, when you wash it, it still gets a little wave to it, but it's still not the wave that matches Nancy's texture of her hair.
Yeah, because I'm just
That's
like,
the thing.
She is so stunning. And I looked at her at the reunion like, what the hell did y'all do to this beautiful woman? And why is she
A red lip isn't for all the time. A red lip isn't for all the time.
It's not. And it also
it wears quick. Okay.
It really
so we
does.
saw you with the red lip on the wedding day, and then you want to put a red lip on. Okay.
This was a choice. Just like Bartice. So
choices.
I really wish that she had been the one to say no and not him. But the thing about it is, the sad part, I kind of figured he was going to say no.
I knew that.
It was kind of like, he's going to be the one to say no. And then to watch her family afterwards, and then everyone's like, you were like, to her brother, you were right, man. The fact that he sat there was like, this is not something I want to be right about. Seeing your sister hurt is never, I'm like, baby, nobody's going to sit there and gloat about that. And if you are a pretty shitty sibling. I will be very completely honest with you. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be right that this man is a piece of shit. And Bartice literally acting like, oh, I mean, I don't want to get married to you, but I still want to date you. Sir, the fact that Nancy looked at her and said, excuse me, I am a catch. You think I'm going to be like your sneaky link? You have lost your mind. Your man bun is a little too tight. I'm so glad she was like, I know she wanted to say it, but I mean, I was thinking it. I'm like, nigga, please. I was like, girl, you lost your mind.
I am so confused by Nancy because after everything that we had been through, and yes, I'm saying we because she took us along with this journey, and I feel for her family because I understand how upset they were getting. After everything that and this is the same for Zainab. I don't care how you turned around and you were better the last few days, blah, blah. You can never tell me that you find me not as attractive or not your type or not that you cannot tell me that.
You can't and think that
you
I'm
cannot
go, oh,
tell
fine.
Me that. Okay.
Yeah.
You've lost your mind. You cannot I don't care how we met. You can never tell me I'm having a hard time because of the physical. At that point, we're done. Because I'm an easy yes.
What is your problem?
I'm an easy yes all the way around, but you really want to say something as shallow as how I look? The thing is, you can change with the insides and the thoughts. You can actually change some of those things with an open mind. But you're going to sit here and tell me that you're not attracted to me.
Yeah, that whole and the abortion thing. I'm like, sir, are you effing kidding me?
No. Because, and I said this on another podcast. He kept pissing me off saying, and the abortion thing, and the abortion thing. Like, it is not, at one point he said, and the abortion. Nancy did not have, well, she might have, we don't know, but that's not how she phrased it to you. Nancy did not have an abortion. She brought up the topic of abortion with you.
Yeah.
You're saying, and the abortion. No. There was no one abortion.
We're
talking about the topic of abortion.
And she asked your opinion, and it got super weird, but it also got weird with your family. And I'm because like, what the fuck happened to your sister? Because she got triggered real quick. And I'm like, but you knew that because you're her fucking brother. So why? You know that's a sensitive subject for your sister, and you can't lie and tell me it's not.
I don't know this young lady. I know that she upset me. Okay. I know that she pissed me the fuck off. I'm having a hard time thinking that somebody who had a reaction like that to abortion has ever had one. Okay. And somebody who says babies are such blessings. And me and you have talked about this, how I feel about that statement. Okay. I don't like the strong feelings from him and his family. And another thing I find weird is that his dad said nothing. His dad said
not a daggone thing.
A word.
Nothing.
I have questions for that black man. What is going on?
Honey.
You ain't got nothing to say. And even when Nancy said yes, the camera pans over to him and his mom and he just shrugs. What do you know what I'm gonna say?
It came up like,
you're married to a Karen.
Her.
You know what? I'm gonna just say it. I don't care. I usually don't talk about people mama. Okay. I really don't. But you can tell right then and there, Barti's mom is a fucking Karen. And his dad knows that he's married to a Karen. And so he just sits there and he's like, shrug. I mean,
shrug. It came off like, guess we stuck with her. It's like, it's wild that you think that your son, who literally seems like he has no life experience. So I think a lot of people are trying like, well, I toss around his age, and I'm like, yeah, he could have been 35 and still felt the exact same way. I hope y'all realize him being 25 had nothing to do with this, but it was like, you failed miserably, sir, because the thing about it is, she is not walking around saying she's going to unalive babies. She said that it's about the choice to do so.
And I appreciate the conversation that she brought up. I appreciate, how she came about it. I hate the whataboutisms, because at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. I don't, because what it is Barti's kind of proved that when people start using the whataboutisms with abortion, then they're like, okay, yes, but, or they're like, yes, but did you have this? Did you have none of your fucking business? Okay. Do you believe in abortion?
Yeah. And the thing,
no matter what the circumstances,
no matter what, is like, it is your choice. And I'm like, let me be very clear, because I stick to this. Any person who has had it, please believe it was not an easy choice. And it also was not for birth control. No. Also, when women are pregnant and they are pregnant and they're like, the pregnancy is not viable, or if they do not terminate this pregnancy, it could be fatal to the mother. Please know the same procedure for that is also abortion. It's not a different procedure. It's just a different stigma.
Yep.
And it's like, that's the part you don't realize that. It's like, oh, I didn't realize I had one. I'm like, because it's called the same thing, but it's easy to literally denigrate something if you make it seem so terrible. I'm like, no one makes that thing easy. And also no one's going like, oh, I need some birth control. There's too many ways to have contraception. That's not possible. And y'all being super weird about this.
And you are not telling me that if Barti's if this was the circumstance, since he wants to talk about how unattracted he is to her, and that's not his type of girl. If Barti's and Nancy met in real life first, hooked up, whoopsie happened, he got her pregnant. And she said, I'm gonna keep this baby in or I'm pregnant, I don't know what to do. You're not telling me that he would have such a strong conviction about her getting an abortion.
Absolutely not. It's like, sir, if you don't try to, you will have a better job of selling me that bridge in Brooklyn before I believe that. It's like, sir, you're also, I'm like, everybody got dead. I mean, what's the problem? I'm like, sir, and I know a lot of people are looking at the whole, wait, you're in business with your ex. I'm like, so I have questions, but also it's fine because fuck Bartiz. That's how I feel. I'm like,
I would have never told him that.
I'm like, I'm sorry, that's none of your business. Because
everybody can say, oh my God, yeah. I would have never said. I would have been like, that's my business partner, period.
Yeah, I don't, because I'm trying to figure like, how did this even come up? And I'm pretty sure your ex is with somebody else. So it's like, believe me, if it was a opportunity to rekindle something, I don't think she would be on Love is Blind.
I'm interested what who that ex is also, though, because and what happened between them, because I feel like with Nancy's family's reaction, I feel like she has bought them some bullshit before.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're like, Nancy, no more, mama. No more. Right. I mean, at one point, my mom had to say this shit to me. She was like, Giselle, don't bring me no more bullshit. And if you even have a doubt in your mind that you are dating some bullshit, don't bring them around me.
Please don't. It's like, girl, please do not ask me to meet no more of these people.
Exactly. And so to my point with her and her family, when they were, I get it. Your mom is trying to check on you now. Me being an African American, okay, if that shit would have happened and I was telling my mom, go away,
girl, my mom would have laid me out.
She would have told me, Giselle, you got me up here, I got a mic pack on, you got me up here, I had to sign a waiver to be here. on television for this man to play in your face, and you want to come over here and tell me?
And
you want to come over here and tell me to go away? First of all, remember who you're talking to. Okay. Remember who you're talking to and be respectful. But secondly, I'm trying to see about you, because he's obviously not trying to see about you, because look at what he just did.
Girl,
after he sent you a shot and said, we got this.
You. Because he's not.
After he sent you a shot and said, we got this. And honestly, truly, I understand that it was a very tense situation. And I had a couple people message me and tell me, you know, they're like, no, like I have a dramatic family, and with my mom, I would have been like, Mom, just go away. I'm like, okay, listen, again, and I'm going to tell you, if I would have seen that, I would have been like, that's crazy. Not in my house. Okay. Not with my, no. I'm not telling my mama go away, but especially not after some shit like that. They walk, in the words of Candace Dillard Bassett, they welcomed him into their home. They gave him a beverage.
Okay.
And he gets up here and does this. And not only that, the way she let him talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
I can know my family's crazy. I got that. I've got to deal with them. But you cannot sit around. The way he came at her brother, talking about, yeah, bro, why don't you back up? Why don't you back up? First of all, Bartiz, just because you're taller. Just because you're taller.
That boy looked like he would literally wear your ass out.
His ass. And he knew it. That's why his mama came running over there. My sweet baby.
You know what? When I'm looking at that whole scene, I'm like, you're not that close to your mother. Because there's no way you have a very good relationship with your mother and you're not wanting her to be there to console you. I'm like, I have so many questions about what the fuck I'm looking at right now.
Yeah, somebody brought up that, like, you know, remember when Nancy's mom told Bartiz, I had to teach Nancy to fight because she's very nice. They brought, and this is a good point, they brought up that probably at some point, since Nancy's mom is so tough and Nancy seems a bit more forgiving and, you know, not as jump to be, you know, fight.
Yeah.
That it probably at some point it was too much for her. And she was like, Mom, this is not how I need to handle things. That's not my feelings. That's not how I want to handle things. And to a certain extent, like when I was younger, I can kind of understand that, because my mom would be like for example, this girl in preschool bit me in the cheek. And like my mom, they would tell my mom,
people now.
They would tell my mom, like, hey, this little girl bit Giselle in the cheek, but Giselle did the right thing. She was like, we have to use our words. And I told her I didn't like that. Now I was in preschool, but I still remember my mom got in the car. She said, Giselle, if that little heifer bites you again, you need to grab her and just scare her a little bit. And I said, Mommy, we have to use our words. She said, okay, try and talk to her again. And she bit me again. And I tried to talk to her again. And that didn't work. So guess what? I grabbed her ass one day. And she didn't try it again until first grade after that. Okay. And then in first grade, she accused me of stealing her glue. And at that point, I was like, you know what? We're done. We are done. Now, I didn't hit her, but I definitely, that was my first verbal annihilation.
I am screaming.
I got put in timeout. Now, I cried about being put in timeout because I was like, but I'm right. And they're like, doesn't matter. You can't talk to people like that. And I was like, but I'm right. And she also accused me of stealing. So that was not about to fucking fly with me. I was like, oh, no, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Y'all, I want y'all to know. Because she's already said this before. Giselle's an Aries. If you think in some way this is off, you have never met an Aries who will let you know, let me tell you what the fuck happened and how somebody had me full circle fucked up.
Oh, yeah. At the age of
kindergarten. I'm like, you won't beat this girl's ass. And I'm
24 years ago.
I'm sitting here like, oh, she deserved it because child.
And if you look, y'all don't know, I have tried to find that girl on Facebook multiple fucking times. And then not only that, my mom and her mom got into it. Okay. You know, that little TikTok that's going around where the parents met and the one mom was like, because the one little girl was bullying the other girl. And the mom of the girl that was getting bullied was like, I'm just trying to talk to you about how we can reserve this. Girl. And the other mom was like, I can't believe we sitting here talking about this ugly ass child. She looked at her and she said, if you bother my daughter again, or she popped her in the mouth, right? In front of her daughter. Said, if you bother my daughter again, I'm going to beat your mom up. in front of
He's
you.
like, I'm gonna beat you. Like, guess what? You ain't gonna be able to call nobody because you can't call your mama because she can't do nothing. When I tell you, I was like,
that's my mom. That is literally my mom.
God.
My mom is 5'2", 5'1", 5'2", and this woman was like 6. We were in Germany. She was German. The other woman, she's like 6 foot. She's a very tall German lady, very, very large woman. Okay. Again, we'll never forget. I'm standing there. My mom waited. She got me. Then she said, "Where is she, Giselle?" And I pointed, and my mom was like, "Oh, Mariah's mom's not here yet." And the teacher, the school was like, Miss Brooks. She goes, "No, because y'all failed to handle this."
Oh my God.
And that woman walked in. I'll never forget because I was like, fuck. My mom turned around on her heels. She was chin up in the air. She said, "If your daughter touches my daughter again, we're going to have a problem." And then, of course, she was like, "Mariah doesn't want to touch her." Ooh, I shouldn't have said it, girl name. Whatever. She don't want to touch her. She don't want to. My mom was like, "No, but she did." And she was like, "My daughter doesn't lie. Your daughter is a liar."
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
When I tell you, I am screaming at this right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just like, this woman had her full circle fucked up. And I know y'all heard this. I'm saying, like, when I tell you that TikTok of that woman saying, "Yeah, this is what happened. And I beat this girl's ass. And I told her that leave my little daughter alone. Because guess what? Your mama came to protect you." I said, that is so actual genius. Because I think it's like kids get really like, oh, I'm like, I'm going to tell my mama, "I beat your mama's ass. Get out my face."
But the thing is, too, the fact that the mom was like, the other mom, the bully's mom was like, "I can't believe we over here talking about this little ugly ass." Like, whoa, first of all, we're talking about a child. If I found out my child was bullying somebody, I would be fucking pissed. Like, I have a girlfriend who she has 3 daughters, and she found out that her daughter wasn't the bully, but she was hanging out with the bullies and she was aiding in it. And she was like, "I am so fucking disappointed." She goes, and she was, of course, she's like, "Mom, I didn't really." She goes, "No, you're not a follower. You don't do this." I'm like, that's a natural reaction. That's how I would feel as well. Some of these parents, it's the delusion. Okay. But back to Nancy.
Delusion,
I feel like
dysfunction.
I feel like that's what it was that at some point Nancy was like, "I don't need to, I'll fight. I don't need to be like you guys. I don't need to." And with her family, it's like, you don't need to. However, you have often used us to clean up your fucking mess.
Correct.
So that's where, and as somebody who has cleaned up a couple of fucking messes before, yeah, I am going to say something.
It's like, yeah, the artiste of it all. And I hear what people are saying. It's like, he should have got it worse at the reunion. Yeah, I agree. And a part of me feels like it wouldn't have mattered because he would have been sitting here acting like a victim, kind of like the other person.
He doesn't care. Look,
the last person, the last couple we're going to talk about.
Here's the thing about Bartiz. I grew up, I'm 5 years older than him. Well, he was 25, what they filmed out a year and a half ago. So I'm 4 years older than him. I grew up with Drake when Drake was on the rise. I realized Degrassi. By the time Bartiz came around, Drake was already full Drake. He probably don't even know who Jimmy from Degrassi is. So Bartiz is of that era of, I'm going to say it, fuck it, light-skinned mixed dudes that are like, "Oh, you look like Drake. Oh, I'm Drake. The Drake fetish," which I don't find Drake attractive. Like, people find me crazy for saying that, but I just don't. I don't have a type, but I will say that's never been my type. I've never really, that's not my type anyways. But yeah, he grew up with that Drake fetish. So, and I can tell that he has always played into it. White women, I'm going to say that again.
Women, okay. You so stupid.
White women fetishize that, and they're like, "Oh, you look like Drake." And he's like, yeah, I've heard that before. Yeah, I got Bartiz's number all the way around. I got his fucking number. Bartiz has been with a black woman. I promise you, I will fall out.
He's not. He's never going to be.
No, just like Drake will never be either. Anymore. Because we know.
It's like, girl, if you don't leave us alone, leave us be. Okay.
Go away from us with this, Apollo.
Last and least. I'm like, they say last but not least. No, last and least. My literal favorite couple to hate. So I've heard apparently she says her name not usually the way that it is said, but Zenab and Cole.
Wait.
So people were saying that she was saying her name differently. And I'm like, or differently that people have heard that name before. And I'm like, girl, she said Zenab, so I'm going to call her Zenab.
Yeah.
I'm going to call you Caddy.
Yeah. What? Didn't she said her name was Zenab?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So other people I've heard it Zanab, and I'm like, yeah, that's not how she's saying it. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna say it exactly how her mama said it. I don't understand this. Y'all are super weird for this. I don't know why y'all saying, oh my God. I'm like, she's saying the name different. I'm like, she's saying it the way that her mama said it. I mean, I don't know.
The way her parents gave it to her? Like what?
Right. It's like, oh my gosh. So Zenab and Cole. So this was the most perplexing only because I thought, one, Cole is an asshole, and two, y'all, for everybody who was like, I'm Team Cole in this, I saw the passive aggressive that y'all saw. It's just, he worked my nerves. So I'm like, I'll allow it. It's like, I'm fine. Yeah. I just, oh, Lord have mercy.
I want to be clear before we.
For some odd reason, I could not hear anything, and I don't know why.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. That is so super weird.
I was gonna say I did mute myself for a second because my dog was barking, but then I was gonna say I could have sworn I unmuted it. I want to say this just before we dive into this. I'm not sitting here saying I was ride or die Zenab. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that Zenab did not get on my damn nerves at a couple points. Because that definitely did happen. Mm-hmm. But what I recognize is while she got on my nerves, that Cole is still a fucking child.
That part.
And not only was he a child, Cole is a Karen.
Oh my God, yes.
Cole is a fucking Karen. Because he gaslit all of y'all to feel bad, including Zenab, to feeling bad for him, which I find weird. And I find it the most weird that it's people that are often on the internet saying like women, like feminism, yes, women, yes. Like, are y'all well? The amount of women that came to this man's aid that fell for those fucking crocodile tears, I thought I was in the fucking Twilight Zone. I thought that I was in the Twilight Zone. Now, again, I don't think Zenab and Cole were a match made in anything.
Correct.
Anything.
Correct.
Those are two people that as soon as they got together, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'm going to keep it 100. When I saw them in the pool together in Malibu, like for the first time, I said, this is not a match make. It's not.
They should not be together. This should never have happened. I'm like sitting here like, why Zenab? Because it's kind of like, did I see the passive aggressive? Absolutely. She would have like unnerved me. But also, I'm looking at Cole like, you're so unserious right now. I kind of don't care.
No. It's like every
don't care.
Listen, I can make a joke out of a lot of things. A lot of things that shouldn't be jokes. Okay. But that shit, just waking up, going to sleep, like that, he is the person that it's like, you say you want a funny guy, so he's going out of his way to be a funny guy, and that's not a funny guy to make. Okay, not everything has to be a fucking joke. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, looking at Cole have a fucking basic conversation, I was like, wow, you're very fucking annoying.
It was like, the thing about it is that the train went off the track at the pool. Because the thing about it is, it's like out of Matt and Zenab, the reaction that I literally am like, yeah, I can understand, is actually Zenab. It's like Matt was like, girl, where are we going? Where are we going, Jesus? Where are we going? To the Underground Railroad? It's like, sir, not only did you do something that was very cringe, the stuff that you said to her, I don't care if you actually think Colleen is more attractive than Zenab. You don't say that shit to her. Like, what's not clicking? And it was just kind of like, well, I mean, I said you are 9. Isn't that not good enough? No, not if you're saying there's someone here that's more attractive than me. And we're supposed to be getting married.
Exactly. And this is my thing. What can you tell me the difference? What makes Colleen a 9 or Colleen a 10 and Zenab a 9? That's what I wanted somebody asking.
Yeah.
What makes Colleen a 10 and Zenab a 9? Because those two women look similar.
The
only difference is their skin tone.
Yes,
they
please
look the same.
Y'all don't want us to say the quiet out part out loud. I can tell you exactly why he said Colleen's more attractive. And please don't, it's not about anybody's physical features, their facial features. Both of their face cards do not decline. Let's be very clear. Zenab looks more ethnic. Remember people used to say that? She looks a little ethnic.
She does.
She do. That is why there's no way in hell you're going to tell me that woman is not attractive. And I know people are like, she's trying to be like Deepti. And I'm like, yeah, but that piece of shit that she was with, like, girl, this is not
trying to be like Deepti. How so? Oh, like with the okay. Okay. Let me
what's Homeboy's last name from last season of Love is Blind? Shake.
Let me dissect that a little bit, because if y'all want to really sit here, I haven't seen anybody say that, and I'm very happy because
I'm glad you did, because I was like,
I probably would go in on them, because if you really think that there's a huge difference between Shake and Cole, you're racist. Okay, I'm gonna call it what
because
it is.
The thing about it, you're trying to be the same way that Deepti is. I'm like, yeah, but Shake's a piece of shit.
Shake and Cole are literally, if there was a Venn diagram of them, it would be a circle.
It would be.
It would be a fucking circle. Are people okay?
And that's I think they were trying to say that she was trying to, because people are like, oh, she's lying. She was trying to get the same sympathy that Deepti did. Yeah. First of all, both of these women should literally get some sympathy, because the pieces of shit that they paired up with were pieces of shit to them, and him literally being the same racial demographic as her and calling her ugly is what is like, yeah, I think Shake is a little bit worse, if we're being honest.
He is. Well,
but also Cole is like,
exactly,
like because a piece of shit that it was like, it's very stealth, because I'm like, y'all really sitting here like, wait a minute, y'all didn't see what I saw?
And I keep thinking about the little microaggressive things that he would say to her. So that's where I'm feeling like the Venn diagram is a circle, because on one hand, you're right. For Shake to be the same ethnicity as Deepti, and then have moms, sisters, women in his life that look just like her, and say that, oh, she's not my type, blah, 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 and pretty much tell us without telling us that he prefers white women. And then on the other hand, you have Cole, who, without telling us, but told us that he prefers white women as well. Because he said, I knew, what he said was, your name is Zenab. I knew I wasn't getting with a Lily or a Courtney, and he named all of these names that are typically white names.
Yeah.
Okay, even though I do know black women named Lily and Courtney, but that's a different subject.
I know some Marys, like, they're ridiculous.
Yeah, and you know what? Lily and Courtney are women of his past. Let's be very honest. That somewhere said, now why am I in it? Don't get to people getting online looking up me, okay? But that's where I'm with Cole, because he said some very weird microaggressive things that I was like, again, just like Nancy and Bartice would have been done for me. That's some shit that would have been done as well. When he made that comment about we need to go back to your motherland. First of all, I am married to a white man. Never once has he told me we need to go back to your motherland. And if he did, go get the divorce papers.
Please draw them up. It was like,
because who says something like that? It's somebody who lives in ignorance, somebody who has ignorance. And that is something so stereotypical, surface level ignorant. And one thing I am finding lately is surface level ignorance really pisses me off, because like, you ain't even made the attempt to not even be surface level ignorant anymore. We've equipped you with all types of tools to not. All right. And then he made a comment about needing to, and I'm using air quotes, fatten her up on the beach. Or at the pool. It was at the beach pool. They was in swimsuits. I know that much. And he made that comment.
She really is not, I'm like, I'm looking at her like, you really are doing this thing. And the thing about it is like, you know, I feel like we're fucking all over the place, but it's like a lot of things. I'm sitting here like, y'all didn't see this the way that I saw it. Mm-mm. Y'all literally let this Karen's tears dissuade you from seeing what you actually saw on the show. I'm like, he didn't seem like, the thing about it is like, he really did walk around on this show. And I'm like, to me, and probably so, he walked around here that's acting like Zenab should be so lucky that he chose her. I mean, I knew what your name was, and it's like, I'm not fucking changing it for you, Cole. And I actually was like, where's Barnett? I'd rather have his ass.
Oh God.
And that is a lot to say.
And my thing with Zenab also was like, after they had sex, and she even said this on the reunion, like she's a very sexual person. After they had sex, she described Zenab, her and I have the same birthday. I got picked up what she was picking down a few times. Okay. And when after they had sex and she described it as, it was good, I said, girl, baby, no.
It wasn't all that good, honey.
You said I can work with this and I can make it good. You were trying to make it good. Okay. Which, please, best believe, I don't think I can look at Cole and tell you what he's like in bed. And that may be problematic of me to say, but I don't give a fuck. When I saw his sheets in his whole house, honestly, I know exactly what type of person Cole is. It's not hard to get a read on.
He's such an easy read. That's the part that I'm like, yeah, he seems like he is a lazy leg. And that I'm like, yeah, you don't look like you're all that sexual. So to watch him, so there is a clip, and I'm glad that Netflix put this out towards the end, because it's towards the end where like she flat out said it was a shot to her self-esteem. And the thing about it is like, I can't believe you said that. I'm like, I'm kind of glad she said that to your face instead of just holding that in, because it seems like Zenab gave me the evidence, like the tease of, she usually holds that in and don't tell nobody, and she internalizes it. And I'm glad she actually said it to your face, because
exactly
that's what I heard too. I'm like, it's going to mess with you if you're always commenting. You did, like, that's the thing. I'm like, he did comment on her body as if she was not a beautiful woman. You did kind of go like, well, I mean, you're not what I would go for. I'm like, then leave me alone. Like, I promise you, I will be fine if you just literally leave me the fuck alone. Believe me, I will not die if you're like, you know what, baby, we shouldn't do this. And so let's talk about the cutie scene, because this when she was describing it, it was like, what the hell? And then I watched it and I saw a lot of people say she is lying. And I'm like, she wasn't lying. The stuff that she said, he did say.
And he said that he said it.
He said, that's why I was like, why I like she lying?
He apologized for saying it.
He really did. I'm like, are y'all okay? So hold please, because people are really playing my goddamn face. Okay. Thank you to Netflix, Love is Blind Netflix, for putting out a scene.
I do a little bit.
What do you regret?
Dude,
you're the first person in 3 seasons.
I mean, look at what I've done.
What do you think you've done?
Here's the deal, dude. If you think you made mistakes, then you can learn from them and grow from them.
If I destroyed someone's self-esteem, then I regret it. Like, I didn't.
You did in that moment.
So I regret it. Then I would not do it over if I could go back.
I have completely forgiven you, though. I don't want you to have another failed relationship. I want you to find your forever person. I want you to have exactly what you want. You do deserve that. I forgave you the moment I walked away from you at that altar. I don't hold anything against you. I don't.
Okay.
I haven't. I don't have hate in my heart for you. I loved you very, very much, and I wanted to get married. I did. but you and me, it wasn't good.
Coming from someone who did reality TV, it's a powerful and very strange and bizarre thing to see.
Yeah, I'm gonna pause Nick Lachey because he can literally choke.
Real tea.
Yeah, shut up. This is not a time to talk about Jessica Simpson.
No,
like, that lady has enough problems.
Listen, with Cole, he, like we just heard and me and you saw, he said, I do. Look at what I did. Look at what I did. It's like, Cole, you know how I feel about criers, Stephanie, when it's they've done something wrong. I don't know if Cole is so manipulative, but I think that this show and people's response to him has been what it is, how his life has been his entire life. Cole does or says something very stupid. It's not so stupid and so offensive that it's like shocking, but it's like, dude, why the fuck did you just say that? It's one of those, okay? It's like mid-level, what the fuck? And then people are like, he's like, I'm sorry. And I keep pointing this out because I think it's important. His friend, after Zenab gave her speech, which I have no problem with anything she said, I think she should have been more mean, okay? His friend went up to him and he said, you're a good person, bro. You're a good person. We're not talking about good versus evil right now. And also,
said he was a bad person.
Up. You shut the fuck up, because have you, unless there's something I don't know, have you dated him? Have you been in a relationship with this man? I hate when men fucking do a woman wrong, treat a woman wrong, anything, and then their friends, their dumbass friends are like, oh, bro, don't worry about it. You're not. Shut the fuck up.
Like,
because
no
I swear to God, if the fucking shoe were on the other foot and she did even one small thing, be like, bro, what's her problem, dude? Such a fucking bitch. Fuck you. Go to hell. You don't date this man. You don't know. Okay? Go away from me with this, Apollo. And we're not talking about good versus evil right now. We're talking about how your actions affected somebody else. That is what we're talking about. And that doesn't mean that you're a bad person or you're a good person. It's literally like breaking up with somebody and then saying, okay, well, in their feelings being hurt and saying, well, at least I didn't shoot you.
Yeah.
Be for fucking real.
And it's the thing. It's kind of like, when I look at those tears, one, I'm someone who's a crier more so now this year than anybody. But also, one of my favorite housewives, Miss Candy Burris Tucker. That's business Burris Tucker to you, Latasha, because she gonna dig in your ass. I'm like, oh, nope. Reality show me with SWV now, please.
Okay, listen, we need to.
I need to show.
We're gonna talk about that.
My God.
First of all, this is the thing with Latasha and that whole thing. People are, and no one's bringing this up. No one said it. One of those women is her sister.
The other.
So you're saying you didn't talk to your sister?
That's why Tiny got to go by Tiny, because both of them bitches' name is Tamika.
Like your sister is also in there dressed matching the crew. Your sister, are you and your sister not talking?
Oh my God. It's like, wait a minute. It's like, this ain't just about Candy, because why is your sister matching? Are y'all beefing? See, this is what happened, because I mean, she did try to go solo, understand. So I get it, like being emotional about tears. The thing about it is, why are people still, and it's like, you know what, I kind of don't fault you. Like, some people like, don't cry, like, oh God, I don't want to make nobody cry. I get it. There's only a certain level of people. There's like maybe 4 people that I know that I definitely am like, I don't give a fuck, I will drink your tears. So I get it. But it's like the fact that he's like, I mean, I can't believe I did this to this person, because you said I did it. You actually said what you said. You said it. You saw what you did on the show, and then you're gonna sit here and cry, and then people are like, oh my God, he's crying, he's emotional. Yeah, would he be doing all this crying and all this emotion if she said this same thing, all the stuff at the reunion, and he's the one who said fucking no? Absolutely not. That is the part that's missing. How dare this woman turn Cole down? because she is above him. I am sorry. I hate to break this to you, because if Cole had said no to her, he would not be sitting on this reunion crying. He would not be really sitting here like, oh my God, I can't believe I did this to the person. You'd be like, see, this is why we aren't together. Excuse me, this is the same person who said on this dag on thing, you're crazy. I think he also,
are you bipolar?
And it was like, yeah, but he's so sensitive and she's tearing him down, right? Why would he say, are you bipolar? Are you bipolar? Let me find another mental health issue for me to like misdiagnose you on. I'm like, Cole can miss me, but let me just say this, as the empath that I am, I understand why Zenab was like, I don't want to sit here and make you cry. I'm like, baby, I am only talking about this. I am not saying that you are a horrible piece of shit person. We do not work. That is all I was trying to say. It's like, I can get it. You can extend him sympathy and empathy and go, yeah, I'm not perfect either. We just do not work as a couple. This is how I felt at the time. I don't feel that way about you right now. And Zenab actually said that to him. She's like, I forgave you a long time ago. It's like, hello, we're at a reunion. We got to talk about this shit. Why are we acting like we don't know how reunion? There's been too many reality shows for people not to know how reunions work.
Thank you.
It's like, they have to talk about this. She's like, well, please no. That's how I felt then. I don't feel that way now. You know, peace, God bless, have a great life. Please no, I do not feel that way about you anymore. But like, I don't know why people thought she was going to sit here and just not say anything, especially when people literally are asking them questions about the show.
And even the way that Alexa and Brennan stood up for her, and Alexa made a comment on Instagram. She said, it's not about a cootie, and I'm not taking advice or words of wisdom from anybody who wasn't there. She told him, she said, the way I saw you act this entire time, and I will never forget when they, at the beginning of the bachelorette party, when they were at the pool, and Zenab told the girls, his family, his mom and his sister followed me on Instagram, but won't FaceTime with me. Even when he's in the room with me, will not talk to me on FaceTime. Exactly. But followed me on Instagram and said, that's just not the type of girl we see you with. Y'all, that's rooted in racism.
Hello?
That's
they
rooted.
Wouldn't
what
even
do you mean? I looked at Zenab's Instagram.
Like, that's weird. Why would they not? They're like, we don't. I'm like, it's one thing to be like, we don't want to be on camera. We have seen other families.
Yeah.
It's like we've seen other families who are like, they don't feel comfortable, or they just like, they're limited on camera. I mean,
right. Jessica's family.
Yeah.
Jessica's family was like that. They were like, we don't want to be. My mom probably would be too. My mom would probably be like, you know, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. It's kind of like same. Because I feel like I could, maybe my mother might be comfortable. And if she is uncomfortable with it, she would put her love for me above her discomfort. My mom is and my mom works for the government too. So she's really, that's the thing. Like,
my mom's not in the CIA or anything, girl. But she depending on what took place, she's got her stakes are a little bit higher. So, you know what I mean? So
the government, I don't blame you. It's like,
Justin Rose. Anyway.
Justin Rose losing jobs because he oiling up and getting like on a damn pole. I'm like, wait a minute. But you're not the CEO, so you can't do CEO shit.
Right. I could see my mom, but what my mom would do is she would be like, yeah, I'll talk to them on FaceTime. You know what I mean?
You know how they do like the speakerphone calls? She would at least do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I can't be on camera, but I can't. I'm like, I don't want you to think that maybe this ain't about you.
Exactly.
So it's like that's the thing. It's like, at the most, that's what your family would do. They're like,
exactly.
I don't know if I want to get mic'd up or get on camera, but have no problem doing a FaceTime call. I have no problem doing that.
Right. His family, it was straight up like, nah, we good, like, bruv.
Yeah, like,
and please let's remember, these are white people in Texas.
I'm just saying, because I'm like, what's her name? Zenab? Nope, we're not coming. It's like,
let's remember, these are white people in Texas. So
that's what I'm saying here. Like,
you know what was also very telling to me? When they were going through that like baby box or whatever of his, and he says, my mom gave this to me after my divorce because they just wanted me to feel better and remember who I was. And it's had something in there like, Cole, you're such a good person. But I'm like, why do people keep saying this to you? if I have to keep reminding somebody that they're a good person, my blinkers are going up. I'm gonna be like,
it is literally
same thing with Matt's
flag.
family too. No, definitely. Don't get me wrong. My family would be there for me if I got divorced. Like, duh. Yeah. But giving me my baby box, Simba, remember who you are. Like, no, give me a fucking break. Take me out to dinner. Give me some wine. Be there for me to cry. And like, let's move on. There's no like, I find it fucking weird. These men and their moms and this shit.
It's like, it's so many red flags. So the thing about it, so with the cuties thing, and I think it was just like, they look at it. See, that's innocuous. I'm like, yeah, but you need to add that into the sum of the whole experience for Zenib. By itself, I will give y'all that. By itself, if we had not seen anything else he had done or said to Zenib, it would look like, girl, what the hell are you talking about? However, furthermore, looking at that scene, it was like, dude, what the fuck is your problem? It was like going to your homeland. I'm like, oh, and like you not eating breakfast to fit into your wedding dress. What the fuck are you talking about?
Who's like, why?
And it was just like, I mean, you're eating two cuties. I mean, we are going to eat a big dinner. It's two fucking cuties. These are clementine oranges that literally are maybe the size of a palm. Kidding. Two are in the size of a palm. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
My ass has fully bought and eaten a bag of sour gummy worms right before we were going to dinner. You know what my husband didn't do?
You sure you want to
really eat that?
It was like, huh? And the thing about it is like, I get it. Y'all don't like Zenobia because she could be passive aggressive. I get it. However, stop. That is not an excuse for his passive aggressive ass, especially when he ain't never fixed or literally was just like, it ain't that big of a deal for you commenting on a girl that you were dating in the pods. You were talking about in the pods. She was on your consideration list. Zenib is not looking at Alexa. You and Alexa did not match up. I don't even think y'all really talked. Maybe y'all did, maybe y'all didn't. But that's not the point. She literally is seeing that person that you're like, oh, that's the girl I would go for. I would have literally drowned you.
Same.
It was like,
because
you don't see that?
Him and Bartiz, I was just like, so we're gonna keep saying this.
And shout out to Raven. Is like, when Raven was like, oh God, this is gross. I'm so glad we didn't. I am so glad Juan Dixon is not here right now.
I think Raven handled that perfectly.
She really did.
Because she did it. And I love it because it was like, boy, you ain't never had a chance. Like, if I would have opened that door and seen you, it would have been like, oh, okay. And that's why she was doing jumping jacks while you was talking about your mom.
And I felt so bad. I'm like, he up here spilling his guts, and now I'm like,
I didn't feel that bad. I hate when people get in their parents' business.
I really thought it was funny though.
Oh, it's hilarious. I hate when people get in their parents' business. So I'm just for reference, my parents are divorced. And it was pretty messy. Okay. It was actually very messy. Oh, wow. I never once was like, oh, I'm so jaded. And even at a younger, I mean, I was a teenager. So I actually was privy and saw a lot of things. And I think maybe because I was older, I could process things a little bit differently. But I never was like, this is why I'm broken. I would never tell somebody that story. And I know everybody's different, but I would never be like sharing that in a deep story of like why I don't know. I was just like, okay, I hate when kids get in their parents' business because at some point you would need to understand that your parents are human. They are adults and they do adult things. Okay.
Yeah. So okay. So you talking about this is very interesting because at the time I was like, I could see like, what the heck? It's like, why are you telling this weird story out of the thing to get to know him about? Stop this. Oh my God. Sorry. What the hell is this? Sorry. What in the hell? I'm trying to get this to stop and it's just, thank you. Exit it out. Oh my God. Something popped up on my screen and it freaked me out. And I'm like, nobody could hear it except Stephanie because I have my headset in. I was sitting here like, that is so super weird when you're sharing with someone. And then I was thinking, out of all the stories about love, and your family. You decided to tell this Tyler Perry-esque tale.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it is, I feel like she just did that because she was uncomfortable. I feel like I would have like pulled out my phone and started playing Candy Crush because I'm like,
yep. I get very uncomfortable in those things too because, and I don't want to sound like an asshole, but like something like that, there it's like this isn't really making me know you any better, and I can't. It's like, okay, people. But Raven is also from a family that's not, her parents are either divorced, they're not together. You know what I mean? So it's just like one of those things where it's like, okay. And again, I state, okay, so you saw a situation where your mama was with somebody other than your daddy. Okay. And then that man came in. If the only reason I honestly would have been paying attention to that story is because I would have been invested. I would have been like, ooh, real tea, real tea, real tea. What happened next? And then when I saw his mom, I'd have been like, so girl, I heard about the jazz club.
Okay.
I
feel like that's something that like maybe like 6 months in, maybe, but not right now. That is so super weird to me. What the heck? Why are you telling him this? Why are you telling her this? And it is, I'm like, okay. Well, I mean, to get close, I guess, but I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Y'all.
I love mess though. And I'm happy that I think we're getting the next season like early 2023.
I hope so. Because I'm like, y'all already recorded 4 and 5. So just give us 4, hopefully in January. Before we get Jersey, allegedly. And maybe
Jersey's not coming. Well, I guess that makes sense.
Huh?
Damn, they're leaving Wednesday nights bare for that long.
Oh my God. So this is very interesting because I'm like, I miss Jersey coming on in like spring, summer. I miss that. And now it's like, girl, I don't know when the hell it's coming on. Because I mean, not for nothing. Oh my God, it's such a Jersey thing. Not for nothing. Family Karma being shown in November is super odd to me. I'm like, first of all, y'all owe us Family Karma. But
they took so much time off. I'm so confused.
But we're getting 2 weddings. We're starting out with a wedding, and I don't think we're ending the season with Emirate's wedding, but we're getting 2 weddings this season. And I think, and as I know what people say about Anisha, that's my girl.
That's my girl too. And I'm gonna stick beside her.
When I'm telling you that, I'm like, if y'all saying y'all as nosy as y'all are saying, why are y'all surprised that she ain't telling y'all ass and shit? Also, her being very close to Brian is very interesting to me because Brian is a beautiful idiot, but he's not an idiot. If that even makes sense.
No, he's not.
He's not an idiot, but he's very much like, he's so pretty. His teeth is so pretty. His daddy is so fine. Also, sidebar, so the fuck is Vishal's? I'm like, y'all daddies are fine as hell.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that. I'm like, why am I thinking that his dad is no longer with us? And I'm like, oh shoot, he's still here. I'm like, wait, are they divorced? Are they not together? I'm like, wait, I think they are together. Girl, I had so many questions. I'm like, are they not together? But I think they are together because you barely see his dad on screen.
Yeah.
And Loba Auntie is that bitch. I don't know why y'all be playing with her.
No, oh my God.
I live for I love Anisha's mama. My positive auntie, Shitra. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's my baby. I love her. I love the aunties. I literally just want to see Lopa and Rashma fight. I want to see
Vishal needs to calm down though. Like
yeah, so just know, y'all, this is gonna be a preview. Zelle's coming back for Family Karma because we're going to discuss, and I'm gonna have to like talk to my girls from the Family Karma cast, which, by the way, y'all should be listening to because that is one of the best podcasts to talk about Family Karma. They also talk about Indian matchmaking, but they just talk. I'm glad they branched out because they said we're going to start with doing Family Karma and giving stuff going. Oh, I didn't know that was a thing. Considering that I didn't realize there was like diverse ethnicities between South Asian people. I'm like, but there's different ethnicities of East Asian people. So Stephanie, why the hell did you not know that? I'm like, I don't know. I feel stupid, but it's kind of like, I didn't realize that Vishal and Rishma are two different kinds of Asians.
Mm-hmm.
Or Indians, I'm sorry. And I'm like, well, I mean, they're South Asians, y'all, but it's like they're two different Indian cultures. And I'm like, this is fascinating.
Full tea.
I
cannot get over it. Like, because I was like, wait a minute, what? But Anisha, listen, this is my thing about Anisha. I really hate, ever since Vishal, what was that, season 1 or season 2? No, season 1, where Vishal played into like the Anisha has a crush on you type of thing. Like, and they're friends. They've been friends for so long. Like, what are you even talking about? I do think Vishal let the show get to him. He let it blow his head up. And like I can tell that their relationship has changed since then. And Anisha has really wanted a relationship, wanted, all of this, for a long time, but also people have been harassing her about it.
Yeah.
So I understand her wanting to protect it. And if they're not making her show it, then whatever. I wouldn't.
Like, that's the thing. It's like Dina's ex-husband was never on the show. And we literally saw them on a reality show of their wedding. And this man was never on Jersey. It is possible for this to happen. I'm fine with this. Also, yeah, I agree. They definitely leaned into you really want Vishal, and also you're jealous of Amrit. I'm like, first of all, I'm jealous of Amrit. And second of all, it's like, yeah, but I feel like y'all were two of his best friends, and it seemed like y'all were actually cool and friends too. But I think Risha is closer to Emirates, so that probably is leaning into it because she's really close with Emirates.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of like I see the dynamics, but I'm sorry, Vishal really didn't seem like he was very team Anisha.
Exactly.
And, Monica, you gave a lot of to Anisha when she wasn't the only one laughing. And
I cannot stand Monica.
I literally watched her. I'm like, girl, you were not mad at Vishal or Emrit or Bali or Brian Benny. You were only really mad at Anisha because you fuck with her.
I cannot stand Monica for so many different reasons, and Monica has mommy issues. I don't know what the deal is there, but let me tell you, when I was I used to just be annoyed by her. It was like, okay, you're, perfect. But when she insinuated that she had a closer relationship with Anisha's mom than Anisha did herself, I was like, whoa. In the words of Dorinda Medley, you need to back that shit up right now. And I thought, like, I'm close to my mom. So I just really thought that, like, I was like, that's fucked up. Like, you really think that you're that girl. Okay. But then when Noor and Aarti broke it down to South Asian women, they were like, no, that's a lot. That's a lot in our community. You are saying way too much. And how dare you? I said, okay. So I was right. I was right, okay, because I was like, it's so complex, but like Monica is just always like overstepping because she thinks she's got pretty privilege, is what I see.
Okay, she do. So here's the funny thing about that is like, this is the secret to this whole group is Bali, because she know everything.
She does.
It's kind of like, oh, I'm like, yeah, you really were mad about this happening because you were actually dating the guy that you were there with South Asian Drake. You were dating him at that time and you didn't want him to know that. I'm like, oh, so that makes sense. I can see why you're mad at her now. It's like, girl, you trying to blow up my sky. But it's like, that wasn't just Anisha though. That wasn't just her. So why are you making it seem like it was just her? They all were fucking laughing and making jokes.
Yep. Because it was funny. Shit.
It was kind of funny.
Whatever.
I get it. I feel like I'm Quran. It was kind of funny. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know what to tell you. But it's like you had more heat for Anisha because Anisha is not your friend. You ain't got a lot to be, girl. Because let's be very clear. Bali is not your friend, Monica. Her daughter is.
Yeah. That part.
I can't believe Bali is 47. And I'm like, excuse me, she is my internet bestie. I'm like, excuse me, since season 1, let me tell you about my internet bestie named Bali. Okay. I'm like, I love her.
I do too. I really like Bali.
I really like Bali. She is my favorite. I like her and Anisha's dynamic too.
I used to love watching Bali go and work at the flower. And just be at a desk and be like a full personality hire and be like, so anyways, guys.
Can you imagine being in an office with Bali? I'm like, on one hand, I'd be like, I would absolutely love it, but I wouldn't be surprised if people are like, I can't fucking stand Bali. I'm like, girl, no, what? Absolutely. I live for her.
But one of my pet peeves is like people who take jobs like, okay, listen.
Tom,
I'm gonna say this. Yes, I'm gonna say this. Did you grow up and say, I really want to work for that flower company right in the office?
Absolutely not.
You didn't. Okay, you fucking didn't. So calm down. I feel that way about my job sometimes. Like people, I'm like, you did not fucking wake up and say that I planned on working here, them living out my fucking dream. Like, give me a fucking break. Oh okay. God. If you did, that's kind of weird.
It's like nobody. It's like, because on one hand you're like, this is a professional area. I'm like, but also you spend the majority of your work week, the weekdays at work,
and I might as well have a good time. Shit.
It's like most people spend the majority of their day at work, and sometimes you may spend more time with your coworkers than anybody else. So it's like sometimes you gotta have some fun. It's like,
yeah,
because on one hand I'm like, I would watch The Office. I'm like, now that I work in Rumen hair sources, when I tell you, they would have been literally running me ragged and wearing me so thin. I could see why Toby is like, come on, guys. I'm 100%. Like, girl, are you kidding me? You need to get me the fuck out of here. Can I work remote? I cannot be in here with these people. They are a incident mediation suspension waiting to happen. It's like, girl, this is not a real office. Y'all be fired. Jim would have been fired by season
immediately.
2. What the hell?
Well, actually, he might have gotten to season 2 because he's a white man.
That's what I'm saying. That's like season 2. That's what I said too.
I liked The Office. I watched it, but at a certain point, I did get very annoyed because I was like, all of these people, all of them, down to Daryl, down to all of them would be fired. Everybody, come on.
The fact that Stanley was probably one of the more, I'm like, I feel like he's so realistic as a person. Like, I am at work, girl. It is time to go home. I'm not talking to y'all. Excuse me, sliding down the dinosaur. Get out of my face. I'm like, yeah, no, I know quite a few people like that.
About when it's time to go home. Are you? It's like, you be for one of my last days in the office because I'm remote now. One of my bosses was like, I think it was because we get done at 5:30. It literally was like 5:20 or something. And he was like, you got 3 more in you? No, the fuck I don't.
3 more what?
I have 10 more minutes here in this building in me. And let's be very honest, I'm not actually going to make a call.
3? Like, you got 3 more. What? 1, 2, 3?
Sales.
Yes, 3 seconds.
Yeah. No, absolutely. First of all, I've sold 3 today. For the 8 hours I've been here. So no, I'm not cranking out 3 more in the next 10 minutes. And I know you are not insinuating that I'm staying here any later.
I can almost guarantee you I am not
any later.
I'm sorry. It's 5:10. Shame. So y'all, I think we have a show. Please don't let tears from men who are shitty to women for a bulk of what you see. Like, oh my God, it's like, oh my God, it just changed me. No, he's the same piece of shit. And she really gave him a very graceful answer. And I'm kind of loving her response on Instagram. I'm like, girl, shut up.
When she told them you ain't in that relationship, I said, oh.
It's like, I'm sorry that you did not see enough for you to agree with. I'm like, yeah, pretty much. I'm like, I ain't gonna tell you. So before we get out of here, Zell, please, once again, as usual, thank you. This has been so much fun. Y'all don't understand. When we were literally like, we're not watching it together, but it's like, we watch it, I watch it, she watched. Stephanie, I finished. We are talking about this. We are doing it. I swear, Giselle was about to blow up Twitter. She's like, what the fuck are y'all watching?
It was a legit question like, because couldn't have been the same program I was watching.
Like, okay, am I missing something? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, fuck those tears. I will drink those tears. What are you? But Zell, please tell everybody how they can find you, and they can find the show. Yes, I'm the one who asked. Okay.
Of course, I am Zelle of Who Asked Me Podcast, which is wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple, Spotify, not on SoundCloud. But yeah, wherever you listen to your podcast at is where you can find me. You can find me on Instagram on the podcast page at Who Asked Me Podcast. My personal page, it is at Zelle's Life, SELLESLIFE. My TikTok is the same. And you can also buy me a coffee if you want to buy me a coffee. It is www.buymeacoffee.com/Who Asked Me 0.
Yes, please do. Y'all should really follow Zelle on TikTok. It's actually hilarious. And I'm not saying that because she's on the show. Like, I love it because she's funny.
Remember, I like to argue though, because I'm an Aries, because I've had some comments where I'm like,
please do not comment her comments trying to tussle, because I'm sorry, you will lose.
I love it. I love to tussle, and I'm not going to stop.
So wait, it's like, please do not come up to her and say, come say that in my face and see what happens to you, because she's going to go, oh,
I am.
But everybody, next week is Thanksgiving, so yeah, holiday. You will not be getting the episode next week because it is Thanksgiving. Okay, it's holiday time. It's holiday time. I feel like Joan. So yes, we're going to be off for next week for Thanksgiving. I'll be back. It seems like in December, because wow. Okay. Oh my gosh. Wow. Thanksgiving is next week. I got a menu to plan. But everybody, thank you so much for listening. If you would like to, please buy us some coffee. Please buy me a coffee, Mocha Minutes. Yeah, I'll be back next week. Well, actually, no, I won't. I'll be back in 2 weeks. Sorry, had to think about when Thanksgiving was.
Y'all, quick intermission from my vacay content. We have got to talk about the Shanquilla Robinson case. So if you haven't heard about this case yet, Shanquilla was a 25-year-old girl. She went to Mexico with 6 other people, a group of friends, to celebrate a birthday. Within 24 hours of this trip, Shanquilla ends up dead. So her friends realize she's unresponsive. They call her mom, tell her they think she has alcohol poisoning. They call the medics. The medics say they can't find a pulse, pronounce her dead. These so-called friends then catch a flight and leave Mexico, leaving Shanquilla's dead body. The autopsy comes back, and Shanquilla actually did not die from alcohol poisoning. She died from a broken neck and a cracked spine. A video has now resurfaced, and you see Shanquilla naked in a hotel room, and one of her so-called friends fighting her, like beating her up because Shanquilla was incoherent and not fighting back. In the video, you see the rest of her friends standing around recording while this girl is getting beaten to death. You even hear one of her male friends saying, "Shanquilla, at least fight back." What? You mean to tell me y'all are watching your incoherent friend getting beat up by another friend and you are standing there saying, "At least fight back"? And then after watching this girl get beat to death, y'all now come and make up a lie to tell her family, to tell the police, and leave this girl dead in Mexico. When I tell y'all everyone is not your friend and you cannot trust and kiki with anybody you meet, this is what I'm saying. How could people do this? Even if it is a random stranger, how can you consciously leave somebody's dead body? How can you consciously watch somebody who is incoherently drunk get beat to death? And I know it's always that, oh, you weren't in the situation, you weren't there, but come on. And on top of that, to now call her family and lie? In this life, you have to watch the people around you, because people will secretly hate you, people will secretly be jealous of you, and they're just waiting for that chance to get at you. I pray that this girl rests in peace. I pray that her family, her mom, can one day find peace over this situation. And the people who left her, the girl who beat her to death, throw the book at them. Throw the entire book at them. Because what? Y'all, watch who you call your friends. Watch who you keep around you, because you never know who is waiting to hurt you.